Hello and welcome to Trucking Answers. And Trucking Answers, we are live today. Let's get going with it. All right, it's 1 p.m. We're running live. What's happening, everybody out there? There's a ton of people out there already live. Going to talk about this driver that got a bunch of money. The hours of service is delayed in June. Owner-operators are making more money. What are they complaining about? Let's talk about it. All right, who's out there today? Trucker Hershey was first. Thank you for being here. I noticed that today. Let's see. Let me roll up here. Al Johns, what's happening today? Gub Scout is out there. Mad Maldy, hello. Thank you for being here. King Bob, looking for a new place. I agree, right. GN, right, 5th. Thank you for being here. Donovan, what's happening? Yeah, home time. Those 3-day weekends really hurt your paycheck, right? Alf is out there. What's going on? Hey, Test the Spirits is here today. All right. Everybody's out there. What's going on? Gub Scout. What's happening today? Will, hey, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't like to name companies. I like to have them remain nameless. Certainly. And I appreciate that you're listening on a Blue Parrot 450, of course. That is the best way to listen to any show. King Bob, what's happening out there? Let's see as I roll along here. Trucker Todd, thanks for being here today. Did I not change this? All right, there we go. That's why I'm not coming back on. All right. Jared, hey, what's going on? Today, Jared, let's see what's happening here. Dave, all right, so let's get back to what I'm doing here. Thank you for being here, Dave. I appreciate you being here. Peterbilt 379 is checking in today. I appreciate that. Preston, thanks for being out there. Will Almond is here. I'm right here on time. I'm here. Thanks for being in, James, at least popping in. Hey, let us know how that's going, right? Okay, we're thinking about you out there. See what is happening? Yeah, CFI, I didn't like their pay, though. I saw them at Matt's. Not great pay, right? Steel Horse, what's happening out there? Thanks for being here today. Hey, what's going on I-40 in New Mexico? Holy moly. Casey, it's Monday, and we are always happy to be Monday because every day is Saturday when you love what you do. Peterbilt 379, thanks for helping you feel better about self-driving trucks. Don't worry about it, man. You're still going to have a job. And just keep on top of technology, all right? Don't let this technology scare everybody. Everybody gets scared about it. Don't let that happen, right? Technology, it's coming. Don't worry about it. Cash is king trucking. What's happening out there? You're ruining the trucking industry single-handedly, I noticed. That's really incredible. Joseph, hey, what's happening? Charles, Big Huge Mike is here. It's good to see you today. As I mess up the thing here, right? Okay. Andrew is belly dumping. That sounds good or bad. I don't know. Big Trucker B, what's going on? I appreciate the referrals over here. I should have some kind of affiliate program for it. Donald, what's going on? You have the 350. You thought the 350 was best. For me, I like the 350. We're talking about Blue Parrots here. I think that's the best one. I don't know about the voice recognition for me, but I've seen that 450 go down to 120-ish. And that's close to $350 price right now. So that might be a better deal, really, because the price is close, within like $10. The Princess of Dixie Hill, what's happening? Tanya, what's going on out there? Flavio is here today. Hey, what's happening? How's it going down there? Ramon, hello. What's happening for you? John? All right, you saw a white old R model. Yikes. Dump truck with a white Freightliner FLC. Yikes. Man, you must have like a natural history museum of trucks down there. And Deep, what's happening out there? Jacob, yeah, hello. Jack is checking in, and I appreciate everybody checking in today. Like a Real Boy is here. Sam, sunny and warm North Carolina. The whole country is sunned up. We're finally warming up. GT40, hello, what's happening? Chihuahua checking in. All right, Alvy, we got it right. The only thing good about Mondays is a live show. Hey, man, I figure every day if you wake up, the rest of the day is it's all downhill. You got it made, right? In the market for a new phone network. I don't know, right? I use AT&T for cell phones. I have for many years. It costs the most, and I get the best service. So money and, there's things that cost, and then there's value for things. Big Trucker B is also on 40 New Mexico. Still rolling with Celadon. If they close, yeah, let me know when they close, and we'll come and pick you up if you're somewhere and take you back to your house. I-90 East in New York City. What's happening? Why is trucking business going down? I don't know. It's going up. Here, ATBS says the net income of owner-operators is even up 7.6% on reefers. How about that? And all segments of owner-operators are up 8 cents a mile. ATBS is a trucking service for owner-operators, okay? So they take care of all owner-operator taxes. They do 150,000 of them or so, and they get all their information, and they're saying business is up. So can't do better than that. Canadian tanker yanker. Yeah, Dwayne, what's happening up there, eh? The Tomahawk, hey, it's going well. It's great here, and I appreciate you coming in. The mob trucker, yikes. Checking in. All right, we'll be nice to you. Please tell you good news. Yeah, right, good news. Reefer up 7.6%. All segments up 8 cents a mile over 2018. Hey, man, money is rolling in for you guys. And if it's not in your segment, change segments. How about that? I mean, seriously. If you're in a segment where there's no freight, you need to change it. But ATBS, which does taxes for truck drivers, says owner-operators are making all money hand over fist. No problem. How did the... Did I hear Autocar's getting back into making straight trucks for local hauls? I did not hear that. Would it really be something? Todd is in Huntingtonburg. Oh, Huntingtonburg. You're right down the street from me, right? Donovan appreciates me. I appreciate that you are here, really, right? Without you, there's no me. It's just me sitting here. So, the channel is you. It isn't. It certainly isn't me. You have T-Mobile. A lot of people do like T-Mobile. Look, I'm an AT&T person. It does cost me more, but years and years ago, I'd Sprint. Okay, and going on 80, you'd get to Wyoming, and at Cheyenne, that was it. And you'd get a blip in Laramie and nothing to Salt Lake City. And I thought, this is about garbage. And I went to AT&T, and I've been there ever since. The wife just got a new phone a couple weeks ago because her phone was having problems. We got her a Note 9, so and we stay with AT&T again. So we love it. I like this. It just has good service, so that's why I like it. There's things that cost money, and then there are things that bring you value, and there's a difference. Don't ever confuse, cost and value. All right, James, how did the truck driver get $80 million? I know you have to leave. So look, this truck driver falls asleep at the wheel and gets $80 million. How does that happen? All right, so this guy's off. He goes home on his 34-hour break. All right, the company calls him. This is all in the news here. And says, you got to come back and take a load to Maryland. They're in Texas or somewhere in the South, right? And he goes, look, I'm on a break. I don't have any hours. And the company said, hey, too bad. You got to come in and do this job. So he falls asleep. He's driving. He falls asleep. All right. Run somebody over. I don't know if he kills them. He's seriously injured. He sues his company for $80 million. He sued them for a lot. They got $5 million in punitive damages. The total to him is $80 million. Why? He was misclassified. Right. They did not have workman's comp on him because they 1099 this guy. Therefore, he gets to sue them for all of this. And they had to pay because they misclassified him. If you are an owner-operator having drivers drive for you, this can happen to you. Don't misclassify people illegally. But he got $80 million because they forced him to drive when he didn't have hours. You're not allowed to even ask him to come in once they know he doesn't have hours. And they did. And they basically said, come in or you're fired. Now, I don't know how he proved that. It didn't really say how he proved it. He must have been able to prove it in court somehow because otherwise they would deny that. Oh, we don't tell our drivers to do that. So somehow he proved it and got the money. And part of the reason is they didn't have workman's compensation insurance, which is required for employees. If you drive someone else's truck, you are an employee. They're required to have it. He got his money. Now, will he get it from them? I don't know about that. Their insurance will certainly pay their amount. But beyond that, they may go bankrupt. I'd make them bankrupt themselves. I'd make them sell all their stuff and give me the money. That's how they would do it. Ways to make extra money while on a break. I guess you could drive for Uber if you had a car there. I don't know. You can work the parking lot. That's what people used to do. 50 for Todd. I don't know if we want to make that kind of money. Ben, where did we go here? Been a shortage. So I lost everything. I'm sorry. Right. Of good loads lately. Slow season. I don't know. ATBS says money's up. It's busy here. Everybody's still hiring. I don't know. I hear about it, but I don't see it. The EPA is trying to work something out where gliders won't be forced to go out of business. Gliders aren't going anywhere. There's too many of them on the road. I don't think the EPA is going to do anything about that. I don't think there'll be any problem. Waving at me from Lebanon, Tennessee to Elwood, so you're coming right up the street too. Everybody's coming my way today. How many roller wieners $80 million would buy? $80 million when they're on sale. Boy, that's one for every driver. You're here at the TA in Montgomery. I hope you are going to get a load soon. Have I noticed a slowdown? No, I don't notice a slowdown, but I have a regular route, so I do the same thing. No slowdowns. Greetings from Long Island. Get the heck out of there. I hope you have a bunch of toll money. Ryan O'Ryan, no, you're not first, but it's good to see you. I haven't seen you for a while. How's it going out there on flatbeds? ATBS says flatbed freight is doing really good. So you have Sprint and it's no good. You have to have Verizon to have internet. Yes, Sprint was always the worst service of all of them. A lot, I'm guessing, cash. Yeah, that's the problem is he's going to get some, but he won't get all of it. Jeremy is home. Good. On a Monday? That's awesome. Does anyone know why Autocar got out of trucking? Oh, who knows why that? That was before my time when they were out of trucking. Hurricane Utah just dropped, headed to Vegas. I'm sure somebody does know that. You're going to load at Vegas? That's pretty good for what you're hauling, too. You need Ford back making semis? Yeah, that's they do overseas. Ford makes a cab over in Europe. You can look that thing up. Straighttalk is cheap and you get service everywhere. As long as you get good service, okay? Don't trade off. I'm telling people always, right? There's money and there's value. Don't buy things for money, buy things for value, even if they cost more money. Sprint is a joke. I agree. Switch to Verizon and should have done it. Verizon seems to have good service as well. I just been on AT&T and like it, so I'm not going anywhere. Mob truckers going to sleep in the middle of the afternoon. It's just time to get up. Company you're leased to offers 15% discount. Yeah, a lot of companies have a discount code, but they do it usually for Sprint, AT&T, Verizon, all the big ones. So you could check with your company. You might get money off. Any idea with people following behind you with their brights on? Well, how about dropping a bag of marbles out the window? I think that's a good idea. You want to fall asleep, you need $80 million. Are you a 1099? See, otherwise you're limited to only workman's compensation. I thought you couldn't do paid work while off duty. You would. Well, let's talk about that. Whether it was for a trucking company or otherwise, my wife was trying to get you for DoorDash during your off time. Well, number one, I think you should make enough money at your job to make a living. That's number one. Working for DoorDash is different than, working for a company. Now, anything you do at a trucking company, it says for a motor carrier, has to be logged, okay? But the actual wording on working for other than a motor carrier is anything you do work for a company where you're paid as an employee has to be logged. That's how they word it. Working for a person as an employee is logged. So I don't know actually if DoorDash would actually qualify as having to be logged because it's put out that if you work like a second job, is how it was worded years ago when the law was put out. There weren't all these gig things in that, so they only assumed people would get a second job. So getting a job at DoorDash or whatever, I don't know if you have to log that or not. I really don't think so. You're independent there, literally. You really are there. You're using your own thing. But look, let's look at it like this. You should make enough money to make a living without having to work for DoorDash. Why don't you tell your wife to go work for DoorDash? I mean, seriously. Once you drive a truck, that should be enough work to do for the week. DoorDash not going to, be some kind of great thing. Winning $80 million is one thing. Collecting it is another. He's not going to collect it. I agree with that. But he could make them go out of business. I think he could make them go out of business. Stash Cam Sam. Hey, what's happening? Thank you very much. Please cover these fly-by-night finance companies that are offering funding for buying new trucks and starting your own business. Are they legit? No, probably not. And if that's leasing at a company, no. But I've seen some of these places put it out there. Oh, weekly payments or whatever. Look, you should never do that. You should always go get your own financing. Put the truck on yourself somewhere. That's really the only good way to do it. That's really the best way to do it. I don't know, and I don't know of these names of these places. If you have some, please email them to me. I'd love to look into them. Flatbedding is picking up on rates, getting better. That's what I'm saying. So that's what ATBS is finding from their drivers as well. So they're right that the rates are going up. All I hear are owner-operators complain. They write to me all the time. I don't know why they write to me. I can't do anything about the rates, but the ATBS says the rates are going up, so I'm all set, right? Let's get these rates up. Mark is in Laredo. All right, head on down there. Be careful for people hanging under your truck. I remember him running a mirror under the truck. Cricket uses AT&T towers for part of the price. Yeah, that could be right. I just been with them, like them, and so if I find a company I like, I don't really change. The other day you saw Allied Van Lines with a FLD. Who's pulling an Allied? Don't they make enough money to buy a new truck? You usually see the van lines. When it costs $43,000 to move your one-bedroom apartment, you'd think they could make more money than that. Looking on a load board out of Nashville for $1 a mile. Oh, nice. That's awesome money right there, $1 a mile. Who does that? Now, who's going to do that money? That is crazy. $1 a mile on the load board. I don't think you can make a total living on the load board, though. I think that's probably the hardest way to make a living. You're in a 1099, but you don't want to get hurt. Yeah, if you're driving someone else's truck, you're being misclassified. That's just as simple as that. And unless they need to pay you probably 50% more for all the risk that you're taking, more than a company driver would get, because they're saving a ton of money on you. LEDs are terrible. Yeah, they're not great. I'll give you that, right. LEDs are not good. But what can we do about it? That's the question about it. Nothing. People have them, and so they come with the cars now, and there's nothing more you can do about it. I don't think. But the problem is these drivers put LEDs in these old trucks, and that is really the problem. Load lights, fixed brights. You could hang the lights on the outside of the truck, right? Ryan O'Ryan might be able to handle that. Verizon has a good prepaid offer with unlimited for $70 and $65 on auto pay. That's pretty good a month. Do you get the discount? Will the company give you the discount? It probably doesn't matter. It's probably cheaper anyway. Or you could move out your mirror. That's good. Blind them themselves. If you worked Amway while driving, yeah, that's what drivers want. Hey, you want to buy some laundry soap? Yeah. I'll drive a truck and have to panhandle. That's time to quit. I'm just saying that if you drive, that should be enough money to live on, really. I think that, it's just not great that you would have to do DoorDash. We're able to work 70 a week. If you can't make enough money in 70 hours, the problem is you need to be able to work more, is that you need to be able to get paid more. Yeah, once you drive a whole week, you don't want to go home and do DoorDash. You want to pick up somebody's McDonald's and take it to them. There's a lot of rent-to-own companies. Yeah, right. I've seen those signs on the side of the road. Can't seem to find online. Oh, of course it's suspicious, and these are not going to be brand new trucks. You're going to rent-to-own some old truck. It's a mess. She's a teacher and does DoorDash on the weekends. Jesus, holy mackerel. So she's a teacher and does DoorDash, and you drive a semi. I think that's plenty. I just think that's plenty, personally. You guys are rolling in dough. Let's honestly. So the two of you are probably making 100 or more. That's twice the average income in the United States. And you're getting close to being the idle rich, really. You're probably top 15% of wage earners in the country. That's awesome. Tell her to quit that DoorDash. It's cheaper to get rid of the middleman. I just don't want your wife burning out on taking people. How disappointing you go get an advanced degree and then have to deliver hamburgers. It's cheaper to get rid of the middleman. The dealer goes straight to the bank and buy your truck. Always buy it yourself. Control your own asset. Control your own asset. Busy season startup in the wind in California, pulling for Reese's. Oh, I love Reese's, right. Baked beans and coleslaw. Yeah, potato salad. Bring it on over. What's up with the news about FreightWave's Sonar Transparency, Atlantic, Georgia? I don't know anything about that. Are you, well, it's over. I guess it's over already. Some mega carriers don't want older trucks leased to them. Yeah. No, they won't take a glider kit either. So even if you have an older glider kit, right, I don't think they'll do that because they don't want the hassle. I don't think so. And really, if you have the money to invest in a glider kit, you've probably been driving long enough where you're probably not going to lease it to a mega carrier. Your settlement went from $1.35 to $1.25 a mile. Well, it depends. How much are you making money? What matters is what do you make? Not, what is your gross? What is the net? That's what matters. Somebody else could gross more than you, but net less than you. It matters what you keep, not what you make. Had Verizon as your main phone at Sprint at home for 4 months with broken shoulder. Used too much internet, extended network. Had to switch. Yeah. Get rid of Sprint. I just hate them. John, also, your wife does DoorDash, and we found out due to a not-at-fault accident, a lot of insurance companies, oh, yeah, the insurance doesn't cover you. It's very clear. You're not allowed to use your car for commercial purposes. And that's a good point, Jared. If you have a loan on those cars, you're not allowed to use it for commercial purposes for the loan. If they find out, they can call your loan. You agree that it's for personal use. Insurance also will not cover you. Any accident, not covered. So for a few dollars, it's just, you're taking another thing, you're taking a big risk. Some insurance you can cover, you can pay them extra and get a rider for this. But then if the loan people find out, they can call your loan. It's a mess. Did I hear about Amazon doing loads? Yeah, Amazon is going to start trucking. They're going to start into the trucking business. Isn't that great? More competition. Yes or no? I went through your bank and pay $850 a month. There are people paying $1,200 a week for a truck. Where do I go to be an owner-operator to start? There are owner-operators on here that will be happy to talk to you about that. I'm not an owner-operator and have not owned a truck. The owner had more than one trucking company and a brokerage company that closed everything. Yeah, I'm sure he's going to close everything up. But still, you're going to be able to get a lawyer with that $80 million. Since you won against those places, I would get a lawyer right away. I'm sure he has one. And attach all the property so he can't get rid of it, right? That's all part of his assets to pay you. Have ever heard a truck honking the horn when the APU start up? No. Had two different trucks that would do that. No, is that some kind of safety thing so you don't have your hand in there? That's what you need at night. These trucks all start honking. Oh, my God. You don't like getting hurt. Where did I go? Right. There. No one's going to haul a dollar mile into Florida. Yeah, because you only get 40 cents out. I don't like getting hurt either. Pain hurts you. Yes, I agree. Hey, Brandon, what's going on in Texas? It's super hot down there, I assume. Don't LEDs look nice at night? No, because if you put an LED in, you need to change the reflector also. It doesn't reflect correctly. It's a different kind of light. And so what these guys do with these older, like FLDs and all these other trucks, they put LEDs in there, and then it doesn't reflect right, and it's all just blinds everybody. You need the correct, thing in there. Amazon Flex is good. I do Amazon Flex one day a year, which is Christmas Eve. They do $45 an hour out of Indianapolis, so that's the only one day a year I do it. So otherwise, it's only 18 to 25 here in Indianapolis. That's not great for using your own car, and it is a big risk. Same kind of thing, no insurance. The other day you saw a freight, ABF freight, Pinnacle. Yeah, they do run Pinnacles around. Blowing out a little black smoke. Well, awesome. He needs to get it in, right. Blue Line, what's the topic? Well, we've gone off topic. We're talking about this trucker that falls asleep for $80 million. He got $80 million from his company, sued them because he fell asleep at the wheel. Isn't that great? Whiskey Bay Bridge. Whoa, yikes. Hello from Canada. Hey, thanks for being here today on my international channel. As Art Bell would say, call in on the international line. Black Poison, what's going on with Celadon? Well, as of this moment, they're open, but I've got another screen up with the Celadon ticker on it, and at any second they could close, so I'm ready to announce it. Is there any company that offers a lease maintenance program? Yeah, I think a lot of them actually. Look, I don't like leasing a truck at all, but I do think a lot of them that have a lease maintenance where you pay one price and all the maintenance is covered, I don't think that's such a bad idea because it's a fixed cost thing. You know exactly what your cost is. You can build it in to running your business. So 7 cents, 10 cents, whatever it is, at least you know what it is, and there's not going to be like, oh, I blew out my turbo and it's so much money, I don't have that much money. Everything's covered. So yeah, companies do it. What is the new hours of service information? All right, so we didn't get to that. Our new hours of service. Well, get this, what came out this week. Oh my God, are you ready? Are you sitting down? Probably you are. June 7th was supposed to be the announcement date of the new hours of service. All right, what did they say this week? That the OMB, the Office of Management and Budget, has to review it first, and the June 7th is now a tentative date. It may go past June 7th. That's what they said this week. And so what's going to go into effect July 26th, because there's a comment period, that may be pushed back because of the Office of Management and Budget review. So if it doesn't come out June 7th, it'll take longer to implement. And one more thing. And there's one more thing like Colombo. Okay, there's going to be, this is what the government thinks, there's going to be a bunch of safety advocates like MAD, GLAD, BAD, all those with the double D things that are going to have a lawsuit, and it won't go into effect at that time either because until all the lawsuits are cleared up. That's what they said this week. Incredible news. It's taken forever. Western Distribution does a lease purchase. I bet they do. Yeah, that's probably, 80 cents a mile? What's going on in the Northeast on the load board? Dollar a mile everywhere. I don't know anything about the load boards up there. You go in for good money and come out for not great money, right? First day in a 389 glider. Wow, how's that going? Hopefully good, right? Where did I go? I always lose my spot here. Tampa testing a self-driving truck. Yeah, they're being tested around the country. It's decades before they take anybody's job. Not concerned about it. Yeah, Trucker Todd. Okay, I think a lease with a set rate is better than you paying all the maintenance. but I still don't think you should lease at all. You delivered an Amazon load a couple days ago. What did it pay, if you want to tell us, or are you an owner-operator? Erie Insurance does cover, yeah. Some of them do, a lot of them don't, but your car loan also says no business use. Jerry, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. You thought Amazon was already in the trucking. You see their trailers. They only own the trailers. They had power units pulling their loads. Now they're doing everybody's load. They're going to broker loads. Hey, Christopher, just got into Canada, eh? Go get you some coffee at Tim Hortons. I thought me was an owner-operator. No owner-operator here, right? Back in the day. Straighttalk goes off Verizon. Your T680 honks twice. Oh, really? So it's some kind of safety so you're not back there working on it or whatever? Wendy, what's going on? That would wake everybody up, right? Craig thinks it's 79 in East Texas. That's warmer than here. It's 47 degrees here. Parking fills up by 4. Yeah, you need to start driving at 2. Exactly. You got to do a reverse schedule if you want to find any parking. Florida pay is good now for melons. We'll take your word for that. What is a good pay for melons? Supposedly the future of transportation was decided at that convention. Oh, okay. They decided the entire future of trucking. All right. And they forced him to keep running. They did. They said, you got to come in, that guy in that accident, or you're fired. And I don't know how he proved it, but he must have been able to prove it. Kim, what's going on? Your truck broke down last Wednesday, 10 miles from home. You can almost walk it. Been sitting at your house for a week. That stinks. Is Smith going to pay you for that? That's curious. What does Smith pay for that? Probably nothing because you're at home. They aim too high and have a FLD with LED lights aimed properly. Yeah, you got to re-aim them because the reflector is different when you're replaced with LEDs. U.S. mail carriers are hiring by the hour. They do, but they also don't pay overtime. At least the ones that I've seen, I haven't found one yet that pays overtime. I don't like that. What's up with Uber Freight? You see their commercials. Yeah, they have a load board, right? Where is my owner-operators to talk about that? Mad Maldy, yeah. I thought about that after I said it. McNally TLD won't boot anymore 9 months. We'll send factory $100 for exchange. Nice. They should replace it at their cost. 4 times for hourly pay, but no overtime, though. What is the new hours of service? They haven't announced yet. And now apparently it may be pushed back past June 7th. Who knows? Office of Management and Budget has to review it, and they're not done reviewing it. And that was just put out this week. Maybe not June 7th. Maybe. King Bob, how do you recommend starting a YouTube video? Just get started. Shoot a video, pop it on there, and get going, right? Just get out there, and you'll do better as time goes on. My videos are still a disaster and a mess, and people watch them. So just get on out there. People want to hear from you. You have a message. You have a message to send to people. What is it? Get your message and get it out there. Amazon is asking for a lot more insurance than most brokers in the industry. Oh, really? Steel horse. Okay. What are people doing then to get their freight? So are people going to just increase their insurance to get that? Because I always understood that the freight there doesn't pay as good as others, but I'm not sure about that. So you have to go and increase your insurance? You'd have to really be serious about hauling Amazon freight then. It won't get through the Office of Management and Budget if they determine it doesn't create an economic change of a certain amount. I recommend $2 billion. Well, see, so that's going to be a problem. But they said it's going to come out. They just have to review it. That's, and so maybe push back. It's crazy. There's an Amazon Prime trailer in front of you at the fuel island. It's probably being pulled by an owner-operator. What would happen if someone decided to ban all the trucks and required everything to be moved one pallet at a time? Oh, like in a full-size van? You'd have traffic gridlock. Trump 2020, we're saying here. Amazon is talking about cutting rates 30%. How can they cut the rates and then have people increase their insurance? I think they're going to have it's really going to be weird how to do that. Maybe they'll start selling insurance. And don't think that's a crazy thought. Maybe they'll sell the rider to your insurance plan. 86 degrees here in Colorado. They could put that, they'll take that right out of your rate. They could cover the extra insurance. That's really interesting. They require it and then say, hey, you know what? We'll also sell it to you. I don't know if there's some kind of conflict. It's 71 in Duluth. Why am I in the cold spot of the country here? Trucker Todd, Straighttalk uses all 4 networks depending where you live and what phone you select. All right. Is it good coverage, though, everywhere? That's what it matters, They won't let you unload early. You bump the docks every 15 minutes. Well, right, but the overtime, that's what my problem is. Hey, Light Bright, good to see you here. Thanks for popping in. It's 78 in New Mexico. Yikes. Where do you apply at Amazon? I don't know how to get... Amazon is running owner-operators, right? So get your authority and get on... They have some kind of load board or something. There's a lot of people on here that know a lot more about that than me. Thinking of going to Total Transportation. What do people think about that here? I heard Amazon is raging war in the trucking industry. Which war, I tell you? Did the guy who won the $80 million work for K&B? No. No, he should have. No, it was some little company. That was a company and another company and a brokerage. It was a mess. Mr. J. Willis, that's all you got? Yeah. What can you do if the company tries to make you work at the start of your home time? Well, you could tell them I'm not doing it. That's probably what I would have done, especially if I was tired. Just tell them to get lost. Not doing it. And tell them to send you a text. Crinkle a piece of aluminum foil by the phone and go, I can't really understand you. It's hard for me to hear you. Send me a text. And then that way, when you get the text, it's all in writing. Which company offers the best phone holders? That is CFI for sure. The guy that stood probably saved every text message and used those text messages against the company. I totally agree. Right. When you first become an owner-operator, you'll lease your Peterbilt glider kit to Landstar. They have a year problem as well. They don't take trucks after a certain year, I think. Is there somebody on here from Landstar? I use broker boards and direct customer personal contacts. That helps, right? And direct customers pay better, and they're more reliable. They know you. You build a relationship, you build a trust with them, and you got it. Is the government going to give us per diem? They're looking at changing the per diem rates. That's as far as they've said, but they do want to change that so company drivers get their per diem back. They do want to do it, and that might get some traction. Thoughts on Landstar? I like the Landstar load board, certainly. There are people here from Landstar, though. I'm looking good. Well, I don't know about that. I appreciate it, though. Will they ever bring per diem back? I think so. But I thought we'd get June 7th, and now they're pushing that back. I mean, the government is just useless. I could see Amazon taking over is a huge deal. Yeah, it is. Landstar could pay good. It just depends on the load, right? According to ATBS, everybody's making all kinds of money. No problem. In fact, Class 8 truck sales were up in April to their highest point since last year. It's 71 in Rock Springs. Nice. Not cutting rates, cutting shipper costs because shipping at no profit. Oh, I got it. Okay, so they take their money out of it to get the freight over to them. That's a good idea for them. Are older trucks banned in California? Some say California doesn't allow older trucks. Some say they drive older trucks. They haven't banned them. Isn't there a future date when you can't use them yet? I'm an over-the-road driver and had a problem with Straighttalk, $55 a month. Is this cover like out west? That was always the problem. 82 in California. JB Hunt pulls Amazon. I would believe, certainly, from what people have written in. Owner-operators, I know, say Amazon Freight is not paying enough to cover the extra cost of the insurance. That's what I was wondering. If they're going to require this extra insurance and still have low rates, they're going to have a problem getting drivers. I think that eventually maybe they'll just sell it themselves to you. Is K&B a mega carrier? They're a horrible carrier. They have a lot of trucks. I don't know. I mean, they have a lot of trucks and advertise a lot, so probably. Super Trucker 2017 is here. Thank you for coming in. Amazon should sell trucks. They sell everything else. Can't you get one delivered in 2 days if you're on Prime? Hey, Smile, thanks for being here today. Amazon's going to broker loads from broker fee, 30% less load charge. All right, so they'll take the cut on it to get the business. That's interesting. What do I think about LTI Trucking Services? They have an interesting lease, right? When I look, or is that oh no, I was looking at a different place. All right, so LTI, there's so many letters, right? LTI, I don't know about that. You're going to sell your Kenworth and go back to work in England so you can have a cell phone holder. CFI was putting out the cell phone holders. In England, you get 3 cell phone holders. You see Peterbilt's pulling Landstar, so you don't think they're too strict. I thought they had an age limit on their trucks. What are the proposed rules to be changed? Well, they didn't really say what they were going to change. They want to change the 30-minute break, the sleeper berth split sleeper provision, and they were talking now, the last time they said, of maybe allowing 2 extra drive hours for unusual conditions, like traffic and stuff. Maybe 2 extra drive hours. not extra work hours. You got a question, is working for a broker company a bad thing? I just finished 4 years with USA Trucks, but cameras got on your last nerve. Look, the cameras, I just can't get them out of the trucks fast enough. Who's working for a broker company, right? I'm a company driver here. It's off to a 10-hour mandated break in Austinburg, Ohio. All right, be sure to not come in early or you can sue your company. Landstar hauls Walmart loads, I'm sure, right? When the company calls you at home and you're not scheduled to go out, act drunk. That's good. You could say that. You could also do what I do, which is when I'm home, I don't answer the phone for the company. So there's another solution. When they call, they go to voicemail. So then I have to listen to their message. I don't answer for them. I'm not on call, not a doctor. So if they want to call me on my free time, it's up to me if I answer for them. The government should put in place some kind of protection for drivers against companies closing. They should. There should be a bond. We should have to have a bond for that. And it should be $500 per driver. And if they close without notice, that's paid immediately as a comm check to each driver that's on the road. Tax-free. The government could set that up tax-free. France, 1973. Europe checking in. Nice. Europe. Want to go to work for Walmart Trucking? Yeah, be my guest. I'm out for that. Can someone name a good company you can go to? You're not making money at Prime. You're a lease operator. Really? You're not making money? How much is the Prime lease so other people can know that? Yeah, trucker 2B, exactly. You believe K&B Trucking still just runs the older style Cascadias? No, they have new Western Stars and stuff. We got to give them that. They have a bunch of new trucks. Amazon will turn out to be another crap company. The larger, the worse the company. Yes, that does seem to be the case. Uber's brokering loads, correct. All this talk about cell phone holders. What about cup holders? Well, they're already in there, right? It's the cell phone holder that we need. What makes a carrier a mega carrier? 1,000 trucks and 100% turnover? Yeah, that's true. The turnover, the advertising, when they have to constantly advertise and turnover as well. What is exactly being changed in the hours of service? Well, they haven't really announced it. They talked about they're going to change some things in it, like the 30-minute break, split sleeper, maybe add 2 hours of drive time, but I don't know if they're going to do that. They haven't said that they're going to do it. Toe Piglet, thank you very much. That's a great name. What are my opinion of Hotshots? Well, I'm not an owner-operator, right? So, and I don't know that much about Hotshots, unfortunately. You know, it's if you want to run one, it's okay with me, but I don't know anything about rates or anything else about, pulling a hotshot. Maybe somebody on here does know it, though. We can get somebody, in on that. Jay, who you could listen to tomorrow at 8 p.m. live on his channel, Auto Transport Intel, he deals a lot with hotshots and that kind of thing, but I just don't have him on the channel here. Hello from Billings, Montana. Hey, what's going on? It's a beautiful day in Big Sky Country. Amazon is getting their own drivers and trucks. You saw 2020 Cascadias? Oh, with the Prime on the truck? I haven't seen their own trucks. Oh, that's great. You work for LTI. I figured somebody would. As a company driver and have a newer truck, that's awesome. The check-in form at the place had 3 driver namespaces. Oh, great. That's great. You're going to get 3 showers when you go to the Loves pretty soon, too. Your logbook already allows you to extend your 14, 11-hour days to do it once with no violations. You must be a local driver. Otherwise, you can't extend the 14 hours to the 16 hours. You hear Walmart is like the best trucking company out there. Yeah. Who told you that? A Walmart driver? Is that guy on here that's that trainer for Walmart? Shout out from sunny 76-degree Bakersfield. Oh, sweet. Martin pulling Walmart trailers. I would believe that, right. They're a mega carrier. Well, there are a few megas that have good reputation like Crete. There are. There are some, but generally it's not a great deal. Got a speed cap and a velocity governor like it. Just passed me. Low 60s. I don't know why the mail goes so slow. Is that why it takes me so long to get a letter? I heard in December that the logs go on drive as soon as I move the truck. Yeah, they should. Some companies do 3 miles an hour. Some do 5 miles an hour. It should immediately. Personally, I think as soon as you press the brakes in, the log should go in. What do you think about that? Why wouldn't that happen, really? Toe Piglet. Oh, soup. Holy mackerel. I mean, I don't even know what to say. I super appreciate it. Won't spend it all in one place. Thank you very much. And I do want you to check Jay out tomorrow at 8 p.m. live, Auto Transport Intel. And there's people there in the comments and stuff that do the thing that you're looking for. I super appreciate it. Prime lease is $1,000 a week, and they take a lot of other BS out. Oh, that's awesome. Are you running by yourself there, as a solo at Prime? Because I do say that some Prime trainers do make good money there. They do make money. Werner pulls Walmart. Yeah, they just have them out to everybody, right? So if you press the brake, you're driving, right? So I think that's drive time. And so some companies have 0. Usually it's 3. I think it's 3 where we are. I've seen some 5 miles an hour. Those I see people creeping around the truck stop. They're not on their drive time yet. What's my opinion of that time all drivers are paid outside of sleeping, which will increase the driver's pay drastically for greater pay today than what it was back? Okay, drivers, I've always said, and this is part of what I do here, if you are working, you should be paid. Okay, if you're at work, you should get paid for all of our time. But there's this bill that's going around to get minimum wage for people, and I don't like it. Minimum wage is nothing. It's $7.25 an hour. Federal, that's no money. Let's not try to get $7.25 an hour. I think we should be paid more money for our time. But drivers, everybody, not just drivers, every employee should get paid for all their time. Simple. Nobody would do it anywhere else either. If you worked at Burger King and they said 3 hours free, you got to work, you'd be like, no, you quit. Drivers should be no different. We're professionals. We have to go get licensed. Some of us have to get fingerprinted and background checked. And then they say, oh, you're going to sit here for free. That's crazy. It shouldn't even be allowed. I mean, I thought Lincoln stopped all that in the 1800s, but no. Truck drivers still are allowed for that. Hey, Uncle Cracker's here. Yikes, 80 degrees in Texas? Moy, thank you very much. Look, I want to get the industry changed, and thank you for saying that. I appreciate it. Oh, thank you, Steel Horse. Right, I do have a list of companies that are doing it better at truckinganswersnation.com. You can check all those out, and there's also a list of trucking company information, contact numbers, stuff like that. From a company that sends you a message or calls you while you're on your 10-hour break, want me to answer your reply should you interrupt your break. Yes, ironically, the FMCSA exempts calls, it says this legitimately, that are quick to get or receive information from the driver. They're allowed to call you without interrupting your break. So, if you're tired and don't want to answer them, I don't know what to say about that, but they do allow it without you interrupting your break legally. I would tell them, look, don't call me all the time like this. You know your company. If they're constantly bothering your break, that's not right. They should let you sleep. If it's some important thing, they could text it to you. It depends on your company. If they're doing it all the time, tell them to get lost. Buttermilk, here's a hotshot owner right here. Good. Steel Horse, yeah, I don't even know what to say, really. Jack Daniels, Ashley Furniture sounds good. Yeah, Ashley was a really great place, really. And they advertise no cameras at Ashley Furniture. They're advertising it. Hey, no driver-facing camera. I love it. You went from Ms. M. Gomez. You went from flatbedding to OTR to get your hazmat and hauling crude. Pays well, $350 to $500 a day. Nice. Working 5 days a week. Easiest job you've had, and some companies provide housing. Exactly. Some companies have a place for you to live as well. It's the Permian Basin, and it's easy money. It can be. I mean, it's harder. I think it's harder driving than regular driving, right? No scales I got around, I guess. I don't know. Look, oil field work has always been good paying work, and I say if you want to go down there, it's kind of like being over the road, though. If they provide housing, you're still gone from your house, right? So you're still going to be down there, but that's more than over the road money, certainly. Someone put Falcon under carrier name in the login sheet at my pickup this morning. Oh, that's really good. We should all do that. Put Falcon down as the carrier. What's my view of drive-away companies? I once worked for one moving UPS trucks. It's 1099. I think that's a legit 1099 job because they don't own the trucks either. You're just moving somebody else's truck from one place to another on your own schedule. Go whenever you want, and you can work whenever you want. That's legit. And they always advertise around here because they do it up in Napanee and stuff near South Bend. They have a lot of those companies. And so you can do it here. And I think it's not bad. They advertise for retirees, but it's an interesting job. Ironically, I knew a guy that did it for Volvo, and he delivered Volvos out of Virginia all over the country. He would take 3 of them stacked up and go all over. He went into Canada. He went everywhere with them. Really something. Interesting job, driving a different truck all the time. It was motels every night. Not bad. Fix the dent on your door. Yes. I don't even care about not running E-Log. I just want a glider kit so you can straight pipe it. You listen, I'm going to tell you this. You're not going to like those straight pipes after a few hours of driving on the road. You're here at Fernando's at the Kroger Distribution Center in Forest Park. Oh, great. Well, you can call in next week's show when you're leaving there. Yikes. How much is the lumper going to be there? So you're solo and don't want to train. That's the problem at Prime. All right, so if you're Prime and you don't train, you're going to have a tough time making that payment on that truck. You really are. You're going to have to train, but don't they let you walk away from the lease, right? You could go back to company over there at Prime. I think you can switch it back out. That might be a better idea because you're just not going to make it as a solo lease operator at Prime. You got to train or go back. Don't go to USA Truck. You're making 57 cents, but 1,200 miles a week. You're right. The mileage isn't as necessarily as great if you don't get any miles. I've seen Sell It on ads now. They're saying they'll match your pay. So I think that's interesting. I wonder how high that would go. I saw Swift, Warner, and Martin all running accounts at different Walmarts. Yeah, they have each different one doing it so that they don't have it all. You don't put all your eggs in one basket is the kind of thing. So if one company flakes out, like Falcon or whatever, they only lose one place. Yep. And they can all compete against each other. Alf says 15 miles an hour. Wow. They let you guys really cruise. Ignorant Sniper, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Oh, Kim says Smith is going to pay you $96. That's really good. I will tell you this. Considering you're at your own house and the truck is broke down, that's really good. Most places would say, well, your home time, we're not paying you. So big props to Smith for that. Ignorant Sniper, 30 years. Yeah. I wouldn't mind driving the truck with DEF if it was possible to straight pipe. I don't see why you can't, right? Somebody tell me why you can't straight pipe a DEF truck. England's 5 mile an hour creep mode for the drive time. So is that 15 because it's 3 people in the truck, 5 each? Let market set the wages, not the government. No to minimum wage. I don't like minimum wages at all, but I don't want people to get paid $5 an hour. Don't go and accept $5 an hour. I mean, that's there's no good. That's not a good way to do it. Certainly. Holy mackerel. Apparently engine wiring harness kept shorting out and destroyed your DEF control system. So they're going to, at least they'll fix it. Why don't they just give you another truck, or do you like that truck? You haul Ranger bass boats. Oh, that's interesting. On a dedicated account with Maverick, 46 cents a mile, all miles. Really? After you unload, you deadhead back to the factory, pick up another loaded trailer. Well, that should be light enough. You don't ever have to worry about a scale. How much could a bass boat weigh? Now, is that year-round? I mean, do you do bass boats year-round? Anyone know a good tanker job in Memphis that requires no tanker experience? Been at night, refrigerated, can't make more than $1,200 unless you're a trainer. That's the problem with these places. It's okay to start there, but then once you stay, they really, really want you to be a trainer, and they don't want you to make a lot of money if you're not a trainer, because then you have no incentive to go be a trainer. That's a real problem. And these companies don't understand, and I saw this just the other day. I actually posted on my Facebook at Trucking Answers, of course. You know, that, if you think it costs a lot to hire a professional, you should see what it costs to hire an amateur. That's the problem, right? People want to pay amateur money to professionals. You can't do that. Get a professional, pay the money. Prime lease TNT trainers probably average $3,500 weekly. See, that's really good money. It really is. As long as they're doing their job, I don't mind it. As long as they're actually teaching people. But many times at Prime, I've seen people, because they post videos out here. The student posted a video. Just the other day, I was looking at somebody's video. They were driving 1,000 miles, and the trainer was already in the sleeper. So that's their second day? No. The trainer, you should be up with people. If you're responsible for your truck and trailer, you should be getting paid. You should make a decent day's pay to be responsible for $250,000 of equipment and who knows how many millions of dollars the load could be. Only 46%. It did seem low, right? But maybe on the bass boats, they don't pay as much. It's an easy load. How many can you put on a trailer? 5? It's the only way you can think of them to stop sending you messages, because they send you important message because it makes a noise. Oh, so does it come through your phone or through the Qualcomm? That's the thing. If it's coming through the Qualcomm, you got to tell them, look, all right, enough of this. You're not waking me up at night. I agree with you now. I thought once in a while they're sending you a message or something. That's one thing. But, oh, my God, tell them, look, you want me to sleep or not? I'm going to restart tell them I'm going to have to restart my clock here if you keep waking me up. And, they may get aggravated. So you may actually end up looking for a job just because of that stuff. Is that K&B, by the way? I just need to know that. Because they're known for doing that. Okay, Jay Main has your CDL but lasted a week on the truck last year. Yikes. Went to jail last week for a misdemeanor. Hoping way to go to court to get it dropped. Let's get that dropped. And to a fine. Never been to jail before the company. Okay, so look, if you can get that dropped off of there, it's not going to be a problem, right? If you get it on there, I don't know, you're going to have to call each place with an arrest. Each place has a different policy, and they want to know exactly what the arrest is. It doesn't matter to me, it's going to matter to the company. It's going to be a process of calling each place and saying, this was what I got busted for. What can we do here? It's not as bad as a felony, and you're going to get a job unless the misdemeanor was, puncturing holes in the dispatcher's tires or something like that, something trucking related. It wasn't trucking related. I think you'll be okay. And just let that be the last one. We all learn our lesson, and that's it, right? But you're going to get a job driving, no problem. There are people driving with ankle bracelets on, so don't worry about it. Should be a cents per mile driving and hourly for all duty time. Negotiate the rate. I think it should be hourly, really, for all your time. All time on duty and driving with overtime past 40. There's no reason now. The ATA pushed this e-log. They push electronic logs. Now we got to pay us on it. Doesn't Ashley Furniture run Volvos? They do have a lot of Volvos at Ashley Furniture. Yeah. Western Express. Well, until he gets a misdemeanor conviction on there, I think he can still call around. Western, I sent felons over there. Misdemeanor, not as bad. Let's check out other places first. Western Express, yikes, right? Steel Horse is like a last resort. How's the new ELD going to work? Well, they're already out here. December 17th is mandatory day. Laws don't change. The hours of service, they talked about June 7th. Now what do they say? Oh, the Office of Management and Budget Review may go past June 7th. Awesome. So we may not get any notification on June 7th. It doesn't make any sense. Martin has road facing only. Yeah, I don't mind that as much. There's no reason for them to watch you. The only reason is so they can fire you. No case is ever solved by watching you. Do I work for a big or small company? I would say let's go medium company, because that's the easiest way to say it. CH Express in Canada is going from mile pay to hourly pay for the over the road. Wow. I've only found a couple places in this country that are paying hourly for over the road, including JAT of Fort Wayne, which is a place that I recommend. They pay hourly plus overtime for your road time. So here's another place. That's great. We're in the United States. Yes. Is 1099 bad? Not if you own the truck, but if you don't own the truck, you're being misclassified. R&L pays 28 line haul. Do they pay overtime? For 90 days. Oh, so it's for 90 days only? Okay, nice. And I lost the thing again. There we go. New England Motor Freight around? No, they closed. Haven't heard about them. They filed for bankruptcy. They're done. They're, Estes, right? Bought a lot of their trucks or is buying their trucks. Steel Horse, exactly. Paying your own taxes, your own self-employment tax, your own insurance, which I looked up. Somebody asked me about this a couple weeks ago, maybe, a lease, and said, oh, lease, look, my insurance is $1,856 a month for a policy that's comparable on the marketplace. So that's just health insurance. That's expensive. Your cousin has been at Ashley for 15 years and is making $2,000 a week. That's really good. $2,000 a week at Ashley Furniture, nice. And no driver-facing cameras. They advertise it. The drive-away. I did on Pick Your Own. No, on the Pick Your Own schedule. It says they do it on their ads. You had to run with a team and could not make the decision to run on my own. You were subject to the team leader. Then you're not 1099. If somebody sets your schedule, you're an employee. You work for them. So that place misclassified you. I will say a lot of them. If you do Craigslist for South Bend, Indiana, there's a lot of them up there, and a lot of them say run when you want, set your own schedule. So, but if someone else sets your schedule, you're an employee. They tell you what to do. Mad Maldy, your trucks go to 30 miles an hour before you drive. You can drive around town in traffic and be not on the drive line. That's super crazy, really. RBC, hey, what's going on? You do good at Schneider and lease your truck. You pick and choose where you go. Schneider has a load board kind of program there. And so you lease your truck. Good. What's a Schneider truck lease payment there, curiously? And they have different rates there, right, on different loads. Over-the-road trainer pay, how much? Over-the-road should make, a regular person should make $2, so a trainer needs to get paid more than that, well more than $2,000 a week. If they're really doing their job and training somebody through the mountains, through the snow, through the purple mountain majesties. So was trucking really better back in the day? No. I mean, trucking is great now. There's regulations, but there are always regulations. Look, driving a gigantic steering-wheeled white Road Commander, no air conditioning, I mean, manual steering, that isn't any kind of great driving. It's easier now. The truck's air-conditioned and everything, that's great. I mean, everything, as time goes into the future, I think things get better. I had to go stand in line at the Flying J to make a phone call. You can straight pipe a DEF truck if it's deleted. Oh, okay. Hey, Crumb Junkie, we are doing great today. Colorado tickets you if you don't have a resonator. Oh, nice. That's how they get you. Just another money-making thing. I would want it just because of the drone. I had straight pipes where they come out in front of the sleeper on a truck, and I'm like, oh, my gosh. Crazy loud. It sounds great in town. Start going down the highway, super loud. Try getting a new truck, but apparently Smith is 97.5 seated. Well, that's good and bad, right? Great's drive time switchover is the distance. Oh, for you, 200 yards. That's a good way to do it, too, distance. Ours is speed. It was possible to delete. Yeah, you can delete it. I don't know if it's allowed. I don't know what the regulations are on deleting it. Maverick here at 58 cents flatbed. That's really good. That's really good. And Maverick, right? Guarantee every week. How's the new ELD going to work? As soon as the truck moves, it will put you on drive time. Well, no, we're running ELDs, and like people are saying, it varies with the company. We've had them for a while. A lot of companies have already switched, so it just depends on the company. Ours are 3 miles an hour. And look, let's be honest about it. As I always put out there, you should run legal, and when you're driving, right? These companies need to train themselves to pay accordingly. Well, we need to train them to pay us accordingly by not accepting loads that aren't paying anything. When a company says, you have to sit for 2 days and we're not going to pay you, we say, oh, no, I don't do that anymore, right? Cash is King says Ashley runs Volvo 780s, nice, and KWs, nice trucks. Just like that Volvo you were driving a while ago. You said you loved it when you had to idle it all night. I drive for rail at 6 months. They ask you to be a trainer. Oh, nice. Really? How could I train somebody with 6 months experience? Must not have anybody to do it. They probably don't. It's not a job for everyone. I don't think you're qualified at 6 months to train people. I just don't think so. There's a new rule going into effect in 2020 for trainers, but I was reading it. It only qualifies trainers that are at a school. Okay. So trainers on the road, I read through it exactly, and it's worded kind of specifically so that trainers at the school are going to have 2 years of experience. It looks like companies will still be able to keep their trainers on the road with whatever experience they think it is. So that's not good. But 6 months, I mean, do you honestly think you could have been a trainer at 6 months? No, probably not. It's tough to do. It's going to be tough. And good trainers should get paid good money. Shippers and receivers should be fined for holding drivers longer than an hour. Look, your company probably gets a lot of money from them if we're on time. Waste entirely too much time. Yes, I agree. But here's the thing, Joseph Jones. What do we got paid for that time? You should be getting paid hourly plus overtime for all of your time. Then when you sit there at the shipper and they're holding you, you won't mind it. Solo company makes more than solo lease at Prime. Yes, exactly. Solo lease drivers at Prime, it's just not a money-making proposition. Your trucks are really expensive and their loads don't pay enough to keep up with it. Because you're saying 1,000, right? We're seeing this 1,000 plus on this truck. That's crazy. Your truck goes into drive at a half a mile. Oh, that's not bad. It has a fan switch. I remember from last week's video. They make you watch videos too. Great, right. We got to watch a bunch of videos all the time too. 2017 Peterbilt. Oh, a day cab even. So you can drive a half a mile, right? Ours are 3 miles an hour. The bad thing with Prime is they lowered the requirements to become a trainer. Well, they can't get trainers. You don't have to have 6 months to become a trainer. That's crazy. I don't know why companies do this. You get what you pay for there. If you paid people more, you'd get better trainers. You cannot train somebody in 6 months. You've never seen snow. It's just crazy. I've said 5 years. 5 years. Gar says you hit drive after 5 minutes. Wow. She can just cruise it out there for 5 minutes. How much should a company pay the driver? I think over-the-road drivers should get $2,000 a week. I really do. I think to be over the road, you should gross $100,000. You're gone from your family. And as somebody wrote to me, Mark, we're not just gone from our family. We're responsible for that load and all the safety of the motoring public. I agree. The whole public is in our hands. The whole load, $1 million, no matter what, everybody's life, that's worth $2,000, easy. James says you're a convicted murderer at Western Express. Well, you're probably in good company there, I'll tell you that. But they will hire felons there at Western. They will. Oh, I'm way back. You're right. Per hour better? No. I say you get paid by the hour, plus overtime. The other day you saw a Flybynight Classic XL, yikes, with a custom sleeper. Holy mackerel. He's getting 4 miles to the gallon. Number of national freight shipments raises seasonally in spring and summer. Yeah, probably. Where's Cash is King to answer that kind of thing? Look, the ATBS, why do I call it D? They say the net income is up 1.5%, and for reefer, 7.6%. In all segments, it's up 8 cents a mile. That's what they're saying for owner-operators. They do owner-operator taxes. Steve, 28 flat for all hours. Well, that's not bad. I still think you should get overtime. But 70 hours is still paying $1,800 plus a week. Estes will mostly be running older trucks since New England ran a lot of... Yeah, they're buying all their trucks. You're going to get a lot of these older Macs. The wife and you looked at a Pete Ultraloft. Nice. With a huge sleeper. Love it. Even comes with a Cummins. Super great. You had a DUI over 10 years ago and got on at Werner, but now nobody has made a big deal about it since. Most places say 10 years on that stuff, right? I'll stick with your per day package with mileage. That's still good as long as it's a good, it's a good pay, right? 14 years sober. That's great, Al. Keep it up. I think that's wonderful. I've seen Kenworth W900 owner-operators pulling Schneider National. Nice truck. Till this December, Smith trucks can go 25 miles an hour, really? Or 2 miles before switching. Sweet. You guys get to go way farther than me. James, you're going to get, you love the Super 10s. Anyone else? Oh, no? Right. I'm hearing, what do I hear? Crickets? All I hear are crickets for that. You called Werner Enterprises and offered you 43 cents after you work for them for 7.5 years. Wow. With 100% on-time pickup with 0 tickets. Yeah, yikes. They need to up their game. But see, they're not looking for you. They're looking for new drivers that they can pay less. Talking about Smith with the 389. Exactly. Is it worth the work owner-operator or better lease? Well, for me, I've always said company driver. People make owner-operator happen. They do. There are a few people I've seen that make lease happen, but I'm not a fan of it. If you're going to get a truck, buy it somewhere and put it on. Don't buy it from the company that holds your rates, But for me, I'm a company driver. I don't have any risk. No risk involved in it. I just found out the road drivers at your job make $1 less an hour than CDL holding yard dogs. That's really something. Because it's harder to get CDL driver to do yard work. That's crazy. Why don't they go do the yard work then? You remember when Smith had the 379? Smith has always loved long Pete's. They do. When is per diem coming back? They have their regulation. They're looking at changing the law right now. So we're hoping to have it back for this tax year for when you file next year. If they change it sometime this year, we'll get it back. 2,000 weekly as a trainer? Yes. I will say this. Look, as much as I give England grief about it, I've had a number of England drivers write to me when I give them grief, and I said, send me your checks, and they do. I've seen $23.75 a week, for trainers at England. I have, gross. And they've sent me their check, and I say, well, send me 4 checks in a row, and they send it. And that they can get that kind of money. So it is possible to be a trainer there and, make mid-hundreds. It is. As long as it's like 7-year-olds, most places won't see it on your report. That's true, right? At 7, they won't see it. But if you're arrested, they could see it on a arrest report, maybe. You have a misdemeanor from 12 and can get a job, really want the simple assault. Yeah, so if you have an arrest, anybody, go pull your records. Go pull your driving record. Go pull all that. See what they're going to see before you go apply somewhere so you know what to say. Why did they change it? It just was they changed the law and didn't realize the per diem law that it would also affect company drivers. So it kind of slipped through and nobody was on top of it and it kind of just went by. And so they do want to change it back. You don't work for free. Exactly. Everybody should stop working for free immediately. Maverick has $1,000 a week guarantee. Exactly. Maverick's guaranteeing the 1,000, which I like, because if the rates go down to nothing or you have to sit, you still get your $1,000. Look, Kim is sitting at home getting paid. There are some drivers for some of these garbage companies that are working and not getting paid anything. It's crazy. And then other places can't get drivers. Why do so many drivers hate Volvos? I don't know. I love them. I've said it. I like the way they ride. They ride like a car. And I think they're set up really good in the truck where all the gauges and switches seem like they're right where they should be. So I'm a huge fan of them. Our mechanics hate them. The mechanics say they can't work on them. It takes forever to get parts. I'm said, I don't care about that. I don't work on them. So what do I care? You guys go back to work. Where I'm from, everyone's deleted. You have the inspections. Okay. I think if you had an inspection, it would be a problem. I think it's a problem for your warranty. 65% line haul and 100% of the fuel. You should always get 100% of the fuel. I'm always amazed when I see places that don't pay 100% of the fuel. $1,000 a week for the truck, and all insurance. You run around 2,200 miles a week, $4,000 to $5,000 with $1,300 or $1,200 take home. That's $1,200 take home, $1,300 to $2,000. All right. If you're at $1,300 though, that's not great. If you're owning the truck, because you can do that as a company driver. No lease company depends. Owner operator is the same. Depends on the company per mile. Exactly. No leasing. Oh, you don't have an inspection there? Good. RELD puts you on driveline at 21. Man, you guys got it nice out there. But it goes back to when the truck moves, so you can't cheat. Oh, sweet. It goes. Oh, so it goes all the way back. Yeah, ours don't do that. So they know if you're creeping around, though, right? They got you. That's how they get you. Nice visions. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And Andrew, thank you. Much appreciated today. Where did I go? No, I lost my spot. Sorry. Getting paid. Your Hirschbach leasing pays $770 a week for a truck. Ran 2,000 miles, made $1,000, like 50 cents a mile. That's not. If you're leasing, you make $1,000. What the heck is that? What do you look? Let's be honest. What are you doing? You can make $1,000 everywhere. Look, Maverick gives their company drivers $1,000 guarantee. $1,000 to lease a truck. That's nothing, right? That's nothing. I think you could just switch to be a company driver at Maverick and get that same $1,000. I think most of the local companies in my area run pre-emissions trucks. Yeah, down there because they last longer and they don't have to deal with all the garbage stuff in it. If you have an accident and you start looking at your logs, how are you going to explain not logging moving your truck? Don't moving without logging it. Oh, totally agree. Right. We should say that too. Any kind of accident and you have all this movement and it isn't logged, you have a huge problem. You've got a huge problem. Always consider that, even if somebody runs into you, it's not your fault. You're sitting there, somebody hits you, bingo. Your logs are going to get inspected by some attorney and the DOT like nobody's business. The exact movements of that truck, because they'll inspect where your phone was and where the truck was. You've got a huge problem. You're taking a big risk for very little reward. You'd be better off working at a place that pays you better so you don't have to try to scam the log a little bit, really. Working rail only pays $50 a day to train. That's not great. And that you get all the miles. But what if the trainee is not good and you spend all your time teaching? Not more money. Well, all right. That's interesting. What if you spend your time teaching? You should be spending your time teaching. Look, that's what you're doing. You're training somebody. Their pay is set up, though, to make the truck move, not to help you teach someone. And that's disappointing. You're there to teach somebody the whole day, not to drive, not to move freight. It's your job to teach them. Secondary is all the freight moving. They should pay better for you so you don't have to spend, all the time driving the truck 24 hours a day. That's not right. And that you're shifting the student. The student is there to learn. You're going to change somebody's life, right? When you train somebody who can't drive, and then you train them, and then they go on to a full career in trucking. You show them how to get a good job, what to expect, everything to do. You change their whole life. You change their entire life. That's how to look at training. So once you see it like that, I'm changing people's lives, you say to yourself, not, I'm going to make some extra money, right? The money's always later. Provide value to someone, and then money comes to you later. Provide value to the trainee, money comes later. And you'll be a much better trainer. You got to have the heart for it. Sorry, you're late. Just picked up in Golden. What's going on out there? Did you get a load? Is it going back east? Is it beer? Tell me it's beer. There are two Pete 359 log trucks. Holy mackerel. One is in the 80s model. That's the newer one, right? 70s to 80s, they're straight piped. Yeah, back then, right? Probably big cats in them, mechanical cats. Is the China tariff going to affect the freight? I was going to ask everybody that here today. How is the China tariff, which just went into effect last week, has that affected anyone's rates? And is there less freight? This is all going to be dock kind of container stuff. So, cross-border, across-ocean stuff. So I don't know. I think the freight will still come. People just pay a little more for it. I was talking to a Western flatbread. He gets 32 cents, and he's been there 2 years. That's crazy. 32 cents at 2 years. I mean, did you tell him, hey, did you slap him and say, you can make way more than this? I understand people stay at a job when it's changing as a few cents, 5 cents. That's one thing. The job's a good job. You like the job. That's great. But 32 cents, it's so low. You can go get another 20 cents easily. You got a couple years of driving. That's huge money. That $400 a week you can go get easy. That kind of job is, you got to leave. And I can't imagine a place paying 32 cents. Chrome also likes Super 10s. I didn't hear any crickets. Super 10s. Holy mackerel. They're horrible. I have zero experience, just got your CDL. What are your chances of getting into FedEx? I think it's low. I think those two are going to need some experience. But not much, a year. Also, I'm home through the house on 2 to 3 days a week. I live in a good area to get home. Yeah, that's not bad then. So Rhino is 17 miles an hour or 3 miles. That's really good too. Does it go back? I never heard of one that goes back. Smaller companies are better. They can be, but you reduce the amount of benefits that you get at a smaller company. You have to decide benefits versus, everything else. King Bob got disconnected. What did you miss? You missed that Super 10s are the scourge of the industry. Wish you had a Super 10. You miss it. Yeah, I don't miss mine. Say no to the 10. Right. 10 thumbs down on that. In Switzerland, it's 6 years of experience and 1 week of school to be a trainer. That's much better. Then they're going to get people that want to do it because it's a lot of work to become it. I was a trainer in a tornado and got to go to a hotel, and they asked who was watching the load. Huh. That's interesting. Well, I don't know. Tell them it's in the parking lot. I mean, is it a load that needs to be watched? You can do 75 miles an hour for 5 miles before it changes? Man. So you could stop every 5 miles to make sure it doesn't switch and keep driving. Huh. Hey, Royal Line. Hey, Shalom. What's going on? I should buy 2 running FLD 120s for 10. I don't know. What are you going to do with them? I mean, $5,000 a truck. I'm not an owner-operator. So putting on a $5,000 truck, I mean, it's a risk, right? Is that not a huge risk? Hey, Moy does. Thank you, and I appreciate you saying that very much. Thank you for being here. Steel Horse, they probably won't run long. I mean, is one a parts truck for the other one? Do you tow it around to fix it? I mean, holy mackerel. Jim Palmer runs manuals. Yeah, probably. There are places that run manuals, no question about it. That's why you quit Werner. Too little money, better by the hour. Not a huge fan of internationals. Look, we have a couple. I don't like them either. But you're home every night, so you would drive them. Same thing. I would drive it, of course, but I don't like them either. I think the new one, there's one LT out there in the lot that I saw just this weekend, a new one. I thought, I wonder what the deal is with that. Megacarriers plan on drivers leaving quickly. That's why the orientation classes are so big. Somebody wrote to me the other day, was at Western Express. They have 2 classes a week, they said, for $40 each. They're on 80 people a week. That's 4,000 drivers a year. And then they're talking about a driver shortage? I don't think so. They only want, new people like that. That's super sad. Street Scores, your favorite show. I appreciate it. Thank you. What's going on? As I lose my place as usual here. All right, there we go. All right, Kim. Volvo's our driver's best friend, but mechanic's worst nightmare. Exactly, but who cares? I don't have to fix it. And I don't buy the trucks. I'd say, look, talk to the company. They're the ones paying for the truck. Barstow shower time. Nice. I appreciate it. Up in the high country there. Love what you're doing. U.S. drivers you're giving a voice to. Look, I appreciate you saying that. I'm trying to change the industry. It just takes some time. We're going to get it changed. I appreciate you being here and taking your shower. Believe me. 1,600 to 1,700 gross with a small company, Paramount Freight Systems. The benefits are the problem, right? $1,375 a week. That's excellent money, though. Over 200 people here. Keep up the good work. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I didn't look at the number, which is up in the corner there. Oh, right. 186 right now. How about to move to Alexandria, Louisiana? looking to go to work somewhere else. Hopefully you have some good companies. ABF. Oh, and some trainer. Yeah, go talk to ABF if there's one out there by you. You lease but haul chemicals. So you're in an industry that pays better, so it's not as big of a problem. I think that you run a risk if you're leasing and hauling chemicals of a, you just have a bigger risk because you own the truck, you can get the lawsuit. Problem with the Volvos, because in 2003 they put their own engine in it, yes, and it made that up. Your 03 was in the shop. Oh my gosh, those Volvo engines were horrible in there. You could hear it. It had a distinctive sound when it started. No power. They just weren't made for the U.S. I didn't like them at all. Is it against the law to not pay 100% of the fuel surcharge if you're buying the fuel? It is against the law. If the company's buying the fuel, then they get 100% of the fuel. I don't know. All right, I will take your word for it because I'm not an owner-operator, but I think if it's in the contract, they can do what they want. That would be my saying, but look, there may be a law that says they have to pass it on to you. Dollar Tree, I've seen places that say percentage. That place just last week. Dollar Tree, $16.70 this week after taxes and insurance. Not bad. Looking for a local home daily run or maybe regional. Yeah, there's plenty of those around. Volvo sits higher and tends to be affected by the wind. Also, the turning radius is no good. You got to take the good with the bad, right? That's what Mrs. Garrett would say. What are our thoughts on the driver who won $80 million for driving over logs? Well, he won that $80 million, which we talked about here. And part of it was that they didn't have workman's comp on him. And so he got to sue them. That wouldn't have happened had they had the proper workman's compensation. So I know there's always a few owners that have drivers here. Remember that. You need to put workman's compensation on your actual employees. That's why he sued them. Otherwise, he'd only be allowed to go after workman's comp. That's what the article was talking about. Really, my thoughts are, though, that he shouldn't have come in. If you're too tired to drive, you can't drive. I don't care what the boss says. He must have had this in writing because he wouldn't have won the lawsuit. He's got to be able to prove it. The boss would say, I never told him that. So it's got to be in writing, which you should always communicate with your company in writing. And you say, no, I'm not going in. My hours are up. And then take that to the state for your unemployment. Because he really got seriously injured and had an accident. You can kill somebody else. There's that thought, too. Is that worth, a few bucks, your job or whatever? It isn't. Safety always has to be first. There's mechanics that are certified to do warranty work outside of the dealer shops. Yeah, but when you don't own the truck, you got to take it wherever the company tells you to take it. Cash is king. The trucks are good. Engines, horrible. Exactly. Load up a Volvo with a Cummins, and I'm all in. England creep mode backs trailers unless why the change the line. Yes. Oh, on the log. Look, there's a creep mode on the truck. I thought that's what we're talking about. You can put the truck in creep mode and you back up to the dock nice and smooth. Mad Maldy took a rolling 30. Well, yeah, you could just stop every 5 minutes and slow it. I mean, it's incredible. I saw an old R model Mack water truck going down the road. Holy mackerel! You have all the trucking museum ought to move down there by you. When you're running and never running out of hours as an owner-operator, approximately 45 hours a week. So that's good. You hardly work. Best trucking channel number 2. I'll take 2. I'll take 2 out of 1. Stray dog. Thank you. Probably some container driver. Yeah. Freight's been slow this far. Look, ATBS says segments are up 8 cents a mile. That's what ATBS says. So they're saying freight is just as busy as it's been and revenue's up. Reefer's up 7.6%, they're saying. Your cousin just got out of prison for vehicular homicide. That's a problem. For drunk running into his trailer when he was over hours. Yes. Okay. That's a very good point. So you're out, you're over hours. Somebody hits you, you go to prison because you're not supposed to be there. It's just not worth it. I'm telling you, it isn't worth it. If you're at a company that constantly makes you run over hours or you feel like you have to run over your hours at your company to make a decent living, you really should change companies because something like this can happen to anyone. And it isn't worth it. It's just not worth it. I do containers and the China deal hasn't affected us, but a lot of companies are worried. But the thing is, people in America, they still buy stuff. We're still buying all this Chinese stuff. So I don't know, the price is just going to go up, but I think it's still coming because look, say a TV set. You go, I don't want to buy a Chinese TV now because the price is up. Where are you going to buy TV? That's where they're all made. What are our thoughts on Western Express as a trucking company? I think my thoughts are if you've got a lot of felonies, it's worth calling. Otherwise, it's the last place I would call. If nobody else will take you, call them. If they won't take you, drive for Uber because that's probably it. Freight will pick up when it stops raining and the farmers start planting in Illinois. Oh, yeah, if it would ever stop raining for more than a day here, everything out here is flooded. Mob Trucker is a 13-speed guy. Now we're finally talking about a transmission. Exactly. Fortunately, they never made a Super 13. Western got Crab Company of the Week. Yes, they are horrible. But they will give people a chance. So if you've got felonies, you're going to go there. They don't pay well. The treatment there is poor. But you'll be able to get into trucking, get experience, and later move on. It is a way to change your life if you've got felonies. It is. And if they won't take you, it's really serious, and you really may not be able to get into trucking. Maverick changes at 7/10 miles. Will put you in driving for 5 minutes. Oh, so it reboats you too. So either way, you're kind of stuck on it. But going over your hours at the end of the day like that, and then someone hits you, and then you go to prison, that's horrible. I mean, was that worth the money? No. I mean, seriously, if you need the money, go work somewhere that pays you better. You see a Freightliner FLD 120. I've had those trucks, right? Not bad trucks. Not bad. Liked them. I'm just mad I can't get on the road. Right. Because you like your job. I agree, right? It's time to get on the road. Look, at least you're getting paid. You actually found a place that pays. That's really good that they will send you home and still pay you. I do like that. I wish they had another truck, but that's good news too. The place is good enough where they don't need that many people. They don't have, we have 90 open trucks. Try another one. Like internationals, they steer poorly like your Mac. Yeah, other than local, I've never had a road Mac, so I'm not sure about those. Had an R model locally. You bring home $2,000 a week as an owner-operator running 45 hours a week. Nice. On a dedicated run after 49 years. Wow. Hang in there. It will come if you can make it that long. I don't know if we're going to make it 49 years of trucking. Holy moly, that's a long time. Good for you, though. But that's good. And so after time, you can make money. But you probably are not leasing the truck from a company. JDM Expedite. Did you hear anything about this company? I've not heard about that company. There's this one trucking, you forgot the name, but think they're medium size. It seems to only run internationals. Well, they probably get a deal on them or something. That's why companies usually run one kind of truck. We have Freightliners, which are very common. And so they get some kind of deal, and they go, well, we'll take 500 of them or whatever. Just got to pay increase to 32 cents. Oh, yikes. That's what people start at some time ago. Steel Horse, I appreciate that. Right. Check out Trucking Answers and look at doing it better. Yes. And there's also a list of phone numbers on the website as well. Thank you for that. You can get a used engine for an older truck at a junkyard for $8,000. All engines you can think of unless you replace. Look, I just can't stand running this super old truck. Did any of the Volvo 670s have cats? Yeah, the Volvos have had Cummins in them. I don't know about cats, though. Best thing about a Super 10 is they don't make them anymore. That is the sign of the day, certainly. What if there was a Super 13? Can you imagine? Does anyone know a Walmart dedicated from Schneider? I've seen Volvo with the Detroit. Oh, yeah, some Volvos had Detroits in them too, right. Not sure it wasn't stock. It was replacement of the original engine. Yeah, text or email always. Ryan, oh, yes. All your communication with your company should be in writing, either on the Qualcomm or through your phone, something. No phone calls because we can't prove that later. I'm going to look odd when you take a 30-minute break at 30 minutes now. Yeah, you keep stopping for your 30-minute break all over the place because it could go 75. Smith Walmart dedicated out of Bedford is 3 weeks on and a week off. That's pretty good. 65 cents, that's really good. And weekends on 70. Multi-stops, 15 to stop. Guaranteed parking at the Walmart. That's really good. Hope you get on that or you want to get on it. The customer you delivered to gave you a box of Sonic Ranch dipping sauce. What are you going to do with 100 packs of ranch dipping sauce? Exactly. That's some of the benefits of running that load, right? Hey, MJ, what's going on? Steel Horse, your log shows your mileage. Yeah, if you do all these weird stops and stuff, it's going to be on there, certainly, too. Tariff tax is good, incentivizes jobs in the U.S. I agree, right. You can't dump all this stuff over here. That's always been the thing in America. We want to make the most money possible, but then we don't want to pay for anything. So you want people in the U.S. to make money, you got to buy stuff made in the U.S., Oh, Steel Horse always has the correct answer. Put them on your roller wieners. Put that stuff on your wiener. What exactly, Uncle Cracker? Yes, always a problem. Your 13 is super. You're the one of the last ones with one too, right? Prime and Carolina Cargo. Yeah, Carolina Cargo is another one of those. I didn't know Prime would take you. Usually people that I send to Western, they'll say, I have 9 felonies or whatever. And I'm like, well, you're going to have to call Western Express. Headed to Illinois, any road closures? I don't think there's any in Illinois other than maybe at the Iowa border. The Mac has an awful turning circle. It isn't great, right? What do I think of Dart? They do so much different stuff in each city, it's hard to tell about them. But in Indianapolis, at least, they advertise really good. But you're going to have to call in each city because they seem to be almost like a logistics company where they're doing different freight in each city. You missed the good old days where 98 cents and you had all the hours you needed. Yeah, you could just stop by the TA and pick up some more hours with your lunch. I need lunch and some more hours. What are my thoughts on Youre Hot Trucking? Well, Youre, look, we had them on the channel. I've talked to the CEO there a few times. They're revamping their whole training program. She actually wrote to me again probably a month ago and said, look, we're revamping the training program. When that comes out, she goes, I'm going to talk to you again. I want to talk to you about it. So they're revamping their whole training. Look, there's good and bad there. I don't like that you have 2 people that go out together. They put you as a student with another student at the end of training. And even though it's only a week, as she said, I just don't like it. But they do pay you in training. There's a lot of good there. They have driver-facing cameras, which is another downside of it. It's good and bad there. The cameras are out, and the training with another student is out. But she is revamping the whole training program. So when that comes out, we'll have another video about them. A lot of companies will take you with a felony. Yeah, I didn't realize they would, Prime and all that would do that. Calling and asking is always the best policy. That's the problem with the felony. You're going to have to call every company and explain to them what it is and see what they think about it. Pull your record first and see exactly what it is so you can explain exactly what the charges are that they're going to see. Looking for a company who can make over $1,000 a week, don't want to return. That's most places. I will say that. PTL and DM Bowman hire felons. Oh, so there's a lot of places. K&B. We don't want to beat K&B. They guarantee $1,250 a week and still can't get drivers. Your 93 Volvo has a Detroit. Wow. People running these older trucks. When you buy a new truck, you can order any engine you want. I don't know, right? Maybe. Did Detroit? Because I looked up Freightliner to see if you could get 3 bunks in it. I don't remember what it said about engine choices. You had involuntary manslaughter in 01, and PTL was the only company that took you, and then bar none. So once you got back in to trucking and got some experience, then you can move around. That's the whole key when you have a felony or something on your record. Get in somewhere, and then you can up yourself, increase your what you're doing later. What if company paid $1,000 per year bonus? Some companies do have that kind of thing. I've seen it. Might help keep drivers motivated. Not a ton of money, yes. I've seen places that pay weekly. They have $100 a week, $150, $200 a week, a bonus as a retention. Yeah, there are places doing it. Who was it? There's one out there that does $10,000 every 5 years. And remember, somebody's got the name of that, I'm sure. $10,000 every 5 years. Veteran trucking company, specifically, which company would be best? For veterans? Well, to start out at veterans, a lot of places run this veteran program. Werner is one of them. Ironically, Jim Palmer does it, so makes Palmer not such a bad place because you get all your veteran money there. There are a lot of places that do it. It's on the veteran site. What do you do? Stop, go off duty, and change the PC mode, then continue driving the clock with the count as you stopped off duty. You can drive and still get your break in. Oh, you're risking it. I'm telling you. Nestle rejected 3 cases of Kisses, 100 bags a case. Did they give it to you? 30 minutes is up. On to Milwaukee. Oh, it's beer cans. All right. Thank you. And thanks for being here, Stan. I appreciate it. Yeah, exactly, Mad Melody. That is a huge risk. How much debt does the U.S. owe China? I don't know. A lot. Mob trucker, that's almost 20 years ago. That's what I'm saying. Been with Megacare 20 months, ready to move on. Yeah, get on out if you don't like it. Go dedicated there. Some people stay there their whole lives. What companies are good for 1 year experience? That's almost every company out here. Correct. So the U.S. is going to raise the tariff. They did raise the tariff last week. Your driver manager told me you would make more teaming. Yeah, you usually do. Which I was making more than I had a teammate, but they won't give me another teammate since your last one got off for home time. I don't know what to say. I mean, you can move companies. Teaming is not for me. The money is not worth it to me. Volvo stopped putting their Detroits in their trucks when Freightliner bought them 15 years ago. So that 93 still qualifies. D-Bold 71. Hey, Mark, what's going on? Starting school? Oh, good. Need 3 pre-hire letters. Wow. Yeah, who would you get that letter from? Go talk to a pastor. Give him $50 to give you a letter. Oh, that's horrible, right? No, go. I didn't know. You need a pre-hire letter to get into truck school? Holy mackerel. Is this some kind of private truck school? It's $14,000 or something? Crazy. Talk to a cop, get somebody like that. Once you get your CDL, stay consistent. Exactly, right. Hey, James Scooting, thank you for being here, and hope all goes well today, and we'll see you next Monday. Prime, you're living proof there's went there before Landstar. Yeah, you can do it. You missed what is the topic. We're talking about this trucker that fell asleep, and it's getting $80 million. Do a video on Ruan. Ruan is another logistics company. Like north of me, about 60 miles north of me, they run a place in Fair Oaks. They run milk, but that's all they do there. So they run milk to Indianapolis and stuff. But everywhere Ruan goes as a logistics company, it's something different. The pay in each account is different. This is $227 a day, I think, is flat pay. Plus, there's extra pays and bonuses. So, but each thing they do is a different thing. So Ruan is different everywhere you go. Oh, they gave you the 3 cases of chocolate. You had to give some away. I don't know if I would have given any of that away. What company would I recommend to start with? Part of that depends on, a lot of it depends on where you live and all kinds of stuff like that. What you want to do in trucking. It's not just here's the greatest company ever. Depending where you live, some places won't hire you. Richard, what's going on? Thanks for being here. Anywhere but CRST in England. Yeah, they're on the no hire list, certainly. Does Western Express waive the CDL school? I don't know what that means. They do have their own school and training over at Western, certainly, because that's where we send the felons to, unfortunately. And the lawsuit, this guy fell asleep, $80 million, sues his company. They didn't have workman's comp. They forced him to come in when they knew darn well he didn't have any hours. Why did they know that? Because he told them, we don't have any hours. So he came in anyway. I don't think you should go in. Really. Letters from trucking companies. How would you need a letter? How would you get a letter from a trucking company when you go to truck school? So, we will hire this person or that kind of thing. That's crazy. I've never heard of anything like that. Steel Horse is hungry. I wonder what you're going to get for lunch today. So you're in Jersey, right, in PA. So, East Coast, right, on the east side, I always tell people at first to call Maverick. And I like the temperature control just because I'm kind of lazy. But they do a lot of other stuff, too. Why Maverick? They have a pay guarantee. So that as you get started out in trucking, you get a guarantee on your weekly pay. You don't have to worry about how much you're going to make. And I really like that idea. They would be one of the first places to call. There's Dot Foods. There's a number of places to call to get started. They can't afford a workman's comp. Highly doubt they would have $80 million. They're not going to ever pay the money, certainly. They're not going to pay the money. If you want to be home, call Yellow or Holland. They have a dock to driver program where you partly work on the dock and they teach you to drive, but you're home every day. And then you go on as a driver there and you're always home every day. You think on the ELD, maybe if they went back to 10 and 8 and left the 30 for a restart. Yeah, they probably won't do that. They won't reduce that, certainly. They never even talked about that. Foreign held debt of 1.5 by China. Yeah, they can pay that off, right? Yeah, they were coercion. Yes, they're not allowed to steal a horse. Exactly. They're not allowed. Your company is not allowed to coerce you to do anything that's illegal. They're not allowed to. As soon as he said, I'm out of hours or I don't have the hours, that's as far as they're supposed to go with it. Oh, okay. But they basically said, you're going to come in or you're not going to work here anymore. And so he went in. He shouldn't have done it. Okay, he shouldn't have gone in and just taken the hit and gone to the state. But he did, had an accident, and then he sued them for $80 million. They didn't have workman's comp. He'll get the insurance to pay whatever it is, $750 or $1 million, whatever they have, and they'll probably just fold. He won't get it, but he'll close them up, and a good lawyer will get their truck sold and give them that money, everything. Yeah, Jay Rody, exactly. Start there, but call a lot of places. Did the driver who falsified his log, did he get charged? I don't know. I did look for that. It didn't say. He did have a lot of injuries. he had a lot of injuries, but that's all it said. It didn't say about him being charged anything. I've heard of a hiring letter when I was thinking about, really, I've never heard of that kind of thing. 80 million, but living with the memory that will haunt him. Yeah, he shouldn't have been going out there. He should have known better. You can't drive. If he's so tired that he's going to go to sleep, you tell him forget it. Inspection week started early. That's not till the middle of first week of June. They pulled you over to do a logbook inspection. Did you hand out your logbook to him? Ever heard of Calex? I've only seen the trucks. What about Houston area of the year? There's, what's that name of that place? I love that, right? There's Out West Express, which is out on that side of the country, which is better. Officer was looking for personal conveyance. Yes, look, drivers, stop using personal conveyance to drive around. You can't do that. I cannot tell you the number of videos I see of people. And look, don't post this stuff too, okay? There are a number of people that make videos. That's great. I love everybody doing that. Oh, I did this, and then I drove 3 hours on personal conveyance. You get an accident. You don't think a lawyer's going to pull that video up? You can't post that stuff on there. I mean, come on, that's stupid. But you're also not allowed to do it. If you have to PC around, you're not being paid enough money. Go to a place that pays you to run legal and make a living. Don't try to scam out the system so you can make more money and work, in a weird way like that. Don't do it. Out of hours should have been end of conversation. Yes, exactly. Once you tell them that, oh, okay, I didn't realize you didn't have any hours. When can you come back to work? That would have been the end of it. In the past, you said you like Old Dominion. Yeah, exactly, because Old Dominion pays really good. That's probably one of the highest paid solo drivers I've ever seen that wrote to me, at well over $130,000 a year, and he works for Old Dominion. So, so for that kind of reason, absolutely. It's some of the highest pay that I've seen in the industry for solos, where he's home every day. Crazy. That's crazy kind of money. Now, I will tell you that when you look around at Old Dominion's website, there are a lot of cities they don't even hire. They don't need anybody yet. So, that's something. If they don't need drivers, that tells you something. Just got off the phone with Breakdown. Let's see. The truck won't be ready till Wednesday. Wow. You need to get back on the road. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, that's a huge repair that they're doing on that truck. Yeah, don't tattletale on yourself. I mean, you can't post a kind of thing on there where you're talking about how you're scamming the log and think, oh, this is hilarious or whatever. If somebody runs into you, guess what? All your videos get pulled or whatever. So regardless of whether you're doing it, you shouldn't do it anyway, but don't post stuff on there. You just don't know in the future how that comes back to you. And you shouldn't be doing it anyway, right? Seems to me like he made the right choice by $80 million. I don't know. I thought about that too. Like, what a bonus. He's not going to get but probably $1 million from their insurance. They're not going to pay him. But he was severely injured as well. He broke his rib and pelvis and stuff. So, I mean, he had some injuries as well. It almost killed him. And I don't know what happened in the rest of the accident. It seems to me someone else died, but I don't remember reading that. It's not a good way to get money, really. Good pay per mile, though. Most companies say 6 months or a year verifiable experience. They do. What is verifiable? So you can prove it. Is that experience from a mega carrier? No, that's any kind of Class A, combination vehicle driving. It doesn't matter. You could prove it through paychecks. Oh, I worked right here. It doesn't have to be a mega carrier, certainly. The FMCSA is looking at personal conveyance in their audits now. They want to take personal conveyance. They should take it away. The number of people I hear talk about it, that write to me about it, and the way people use it, I think it should go away. I really do. It's just crazy. There's almost no limitations to the amount of time people use it. Oh, I was on personal conveyance. No, you absolutely were not. People are not on it. What do I know about the diabetes rule? Not a lot. I do know they changed the rule. So now if you take the injections, okay, you can go to your doctor, and there's a form that you fill out. The form you get off the website of the FMCSA about diabetes. Your doctor fills out this form that says, this person's diabetes is under control. I'm monitoring them. They are under my care. And then they sign it with their medical license and all that. And you take that form back to the DMV where you're getting your license, and you get, or your physical, I should say, and where you're getting your physical, and you get an exemption. You get a 1-year physical based on that from your doctor. So now you can take the injections and still pass your physical and still drive. As long as you're under the care of a doctor, it's controlled, stuff like that, which you want it to be anyway, right? Let's keep the sugar low so we can live a long life. Life is short enough, right? I saw a truck passing without a fuel tank on the passenger side and no steps. Oh, nice. He must have had his taken off. Some of our trucks only have one tank on them. I will say that. But we have steps over there and a mirror. Where's his mirror? That's not legal. I don't think you need steps. But I think you need a mirror. That's crazy. Your outlaw days are long past and you don't miss them. Look, I've done that too, okay? I'm not saying I'm always been a perfect driver. I follow the law. And that's not true at all, right? That I many times drove with 2 logbooks, paper logs. My longest drive was Walcott, Iowa to St. George, Utah. Okay, like 1,800 miles or something, 1,600 miles. I drove that straight through. I started one morning. I got down to St. George late the next afternoon. I was still driving. So I'm not here to say like, I'm perfect and you should do like me. I'm perfect. No. What I'm saying now is that looking back at it, realizing, look, that's stupid. I could have killed somebody. I was super tired. That's crazy to do that. I don't do that now. And I won't work now that way because you can just go get paid better for your time and, don't have to be unsafe because that kind of stuff is crazy. Please don't do it. From personal experience, I'm telling you, don't do it. Many people that ran 2 or 3 logs would say, that's crazy. That's crazy. I would never do that again. I promise you that. I won't even go a minute over my logs now for a company. They will have to come and get me. And that's what I tell them, and that's what I would hold them to, which they do here. Truck manufacturers are making their own engines, so engine options aren't like they used to be. Yeah, you can go get the engine from the manufacturer. Who's worse, CR or Western? Well, they each have their place. Western doesn't put 3 people in a truck, but when you look at videos from people, their treatment and pay is really, really poor, almost worse than England. But England seems to have no limits on how many people they'll put in a truck. If they're trying to figure out how to stack people on the back and Velcro them to the back wall so that they can get more people in there. It's a tough race that they're having to the bottom. PC, drop trailer, get food, come back. That's different. That's not what the DOT is looking at all. There are people who run out of hours and then PC another 45 minutes to get somewhere. You can't do that. You just can't do that. And they do it like every day. They're posting these videos. I've seen them. Oh, went 2 hours yesterday, an hour today. You can't do that. Werner says we can drive up to 150 miles on PC time. Steel Horse is very right on this, that the DOT is closely looking this, that if it's not legitimate PC time, it's not. Werner said it doesn't mean you won't get a ticket for it or get written up or put out of service. And if you have to do that every day to get your load furthered, to make time on your load, that is the problem. If you're going to the restaurant or whatever or dropping your trailer, that's fine. That's your time. But if you have to move your load on this constantly, which is what I see people talking to me about and emailing me, then it's time for a new company. Choosing between Covenant, Freymiller, or Knight. Well, I'll take Knight out of those 3, really. I don't know that much about Freymiller. I'll go them second since I don't know that much, and then we'll go to Covenant third. Covenant is mainly teams. They do, or not mainly, but they do some teaming too. So I'll take Knight just because there's no contract and no nothing like that at Knight. If FMCSA could prove you're abusing your PC, your company will lose PC. Yes, exactly. They're cracking down. So many people just hit PC all the time now. You're driving along, you don't get to hit PC when you run out of hours so that you can drive 45 minutes to a truck stop. That's not how that works. That is not personal conveyance. You're still driving. You should have stopped an hour before if necessary because that's how it works. Somebody hits you. Just like this other driver. You get in an accident and somebody runs into you. They go back and they look, oh, you have 43 actual violations of personal conveyance. You've got a real problem. You've got a real problem. CR is definitely the worst, yes, of all those of almost anybody. Dart lease purchase trucks don't have fuel tanks on the passenger side. Oh, so they can haul more weight. Yeah, exactly. Must be fun stopping for fuel every 200 miles. Look, I got a single 135-gallon tank on this truck. That's pretty good at 8.2. This thing will go almost 1,000 miles on a tank, so not bad. Well, Flat Cap, shout out from St. George. Are you down at the J? That's where I made it to that day. I pulled in at like 4:30. I was so tired. I didn't want to go through crossing the state line through that windy mountain part there into Nevada because I originally was going to make the Petro in North Vegas. And I thought, but I just didn't want to go any farther. I almost couldn't see what was going on. I was slapping myself to stay awake. I mean, it's really not funny. I mean, because I could have killed somebody. So that's my longest drive, and that was just crazy. I will never do that anymore. Just got back home from doing a 2,100-mile load. Those are my favorite kinds, right? Coast to coast. Saw a Swift crash today, just another day. Yeah, it's just a regular day. But when you have like 16,000 trucks, you're going to have some crashes every day. DOT says, let me see your logs. I say, I'm not hauling logs. I'm hauling potatoes. Oh, okay, next stop for you. Get out of the truck, sir, please. Hands behind your back. Oh, I'm just going to check for drugs here with my nightstick. Exactly. I've only used personal conveyance once, and it was to get home from a shipper to a truck stop. It was a 25-minute drive. That's different. Shipper to truck stop is legit because you're leaving the shipper. People use it after they're driving. They drive out on drive time, drive the rest of their drive time, then PC it. You're not allowed to. You're not allowed to do that. That is not allowed in the industry. Stop forcing teams. Yes, you should never force someone to team with somebody else. And Steel Horse has the best way to stop it, which is not doing it. So, but people, when they start somewhere, they don't know to even ask about it, and that's the real problem. You woke up late with 800-mile run and a 7 o'clock appointment in the morning. Definitely shot yourself in the foot. Yeah, that's a problem. Don't worry, they'll understand. They're probably going to hold you there all day anyway, so tell them don't worry about it. If they taught more proper trip planning during training, PC would be a rare option. If you use PC, though, on the road, I mean, this is going to be your ticket that you're going to eat later. You can be booted out of the industry. You can be arrested. You know, you can be jailed for this, for all these violations. It isn't right. Yeah, Al, yeah. Look, Cash is King right now is being, bent over and getting a drug check with a nightstick, right, for being clever, right. Jared, do I stay in the state? Yeah, I do now, yeah. I don't do much now at trucking as I used to, certainly. Thoughts on a good lease purchase company? There aren't any. Honestly, that's my thoughts on it. I don't lease purchase, and I don't recommend, this channel, I don't recommend a lease purchase at all to anybody. I just haven't found a great deal on it yet at all. Go buy the truck. You want to buy a truck? Go buy one yourself and put it on somewhere. Roy, hey, what's going on? Thank you very much. Here's your thank you. Oh, well, I thank you very much. DOT has an idle policy change that is making you mad. Tell me about it later. Yeah, let me know. Let me know what you're talking about down for that. I appreciate it. Write to me. Be sure to write in. And thank you very much. It's good to see you on there. Tampa, Florida, Cleveland, Ohio to Tampa, then one time to Steamboat, Colorado. Nice. Hopefully that you got some sleep in that. What is the absolute correct way to use PC? Well, for personal conveyance, for anything that you are doing personally. And to go from the shipper to a place to park or the receiver from the place to park, the closest safe spot to park. That's it. Otherwise, you don't get to use it at all. And then, like Sandman says, your company doesn't allow it at all. So he doesn't get to use it at all. And we're the same way. No PC at all here. So I can't use it at all. But some companies don't allow it. Otherwise, it's something personal. Are you at the direction of the company? Or are you just going to a store or doing laundry? That's what the DOT says. Or to a motel. That's personal use. If you are driving along and your 11 hours is up, you don't get to hit PC and run 2 more hours to a truck stop. That's not PC. It's 5 more minutes to a truck stop. That's not what it's for. You can't say, well, I left the shipper, now I'm PCing to the truck stop. No. You have to go from the shipper to the nearest spot, closest safe place from that shipper. You can't be in a load that you're already driving on and then PC down the road. You're supposed to stop before that. And if somebody hits you, you're going to eat all that PC time. Some attorney's going to go through your logs and you're going to have a problem. I just chimed in on you to reset. Want to bobtail visit local tourists? Yeah, attractions. Yes, that's PC time. That's perfect PC time. So you're on a reset if your company allows it, or you own the truck, I guess, and you want to visit tourist spots, and that's no problem. That's personal use of the truck. You're going to visit, whatever, the National Museum of Noodles or the Spam Museum. Absolutely. What do I know about online transportation? Other than they got a big truck right on the highway, which I see every day, not much else. I see that semi parked on 465 every day. We're hiring, right? So, Kim, so now you talk to ops manager, right, at Smith, and he'll call you back if he gets with the VP of equipment. Yikes. You're going to go crazy. Don't get him too mad at you over there. You don't want people being super mad. Whole reason you went over the road is to get away from your family. Yikes. You need a better instead of a better job, you need a better family. To me, working on a truck, it doesn't matter what it is. Oh, no, driving is a great job, right? So, I love driving, and it's been a great career for me. It's been a whole career, and it can be for you too, right? A lot of us make a great living working. It's a Reinhardt Food Distribution Center. Yes, you're going to be there for at least a couple of hours. Smith gets an hour of PC available. Even though the company gives it to you, though, you can't misuse it. You can't use it in a way that you're not allowed to use it. Kim, hop in another truck. That's what I'm saying. At least get another truck and then have them route you back through to your regular truck. You talked to Sell It on Nice. Did anybody answer? I was trying to get my school records for hours, but they no longer kept records for training. They probably sold that too. They've been selling everything. Anymore, the school has packed and left. Right, so they have no records. Well, do you need your school records for something? I mean, did you not get a job right out of their school? Hey, TR, what's going on? There are no available trucks. Right, well, that's a problem too. They can rent you a truck. Oh, then Steel Horse. Ask them to rent a Penske truck. I don't know if they would. Look, it's worth asking them. Have you ever had to cross the George Washington Bridge? Absolutely, right? I'm sure many of us have been over the GW Bridge. Last time I went over, it was $50, I think. And it's a disaster. I always tried to take the bottom of the bridge, the bottom crossing. I don't know why. I just seem to like it. I like looking through the holes in the cement through down to the water. So I really enjoyed that a lot. But yeah, I've been across the GW, all the bridges. I'm an owner-operator and a dispatcher called, offered 700 miles to Florida. Driver load and unload lice. Deliver Monday for 18. Refused on grounds of going to Florida and driver labor. Well, I mean, I don't know what to say. That's, $250 a mile. But certainly your choice if you own the truck. But $250, what do you get out of bucks? You can average $1.25. You lost your PC when you were doing Walmart dedicated. Called... on Prime, you would head to the truck stop after you were unloaded. In the morning time, I would use your PC heading to Town Park. Okay, so look, after you unload, and then you would go to the truck stop after you're loaded. Okay, so that's allowed. Maybe Prime doesn't allow it. You're allowed to go from the shipper or receiver to a safe, legal place to park on personal conveyance. They allow it. In the morning, you would head to PC to the Town Park. What were you doing at the park? Bottom crossing is for cars only. Yeah, it didn't used to be. I used to cross on the bottom. Everybody could go to top or bottom. You love driving the George Washington? Yeah, I don't like the GW Bridge. Driving is nice. Steel Horse gets the drop and hook there. Isn't that great to pull into a place? You're drop and hook, and there are people sitting there loaded. I mean, I feel bad for them, but I guess not too bad. A little bad. To do personal stuff because you're considered, it was considered. Beyond hello until you got back to Hub. That's why they took your personal conveyance. I used to go out to Boston for U.S. Food Service. We'd take loads out there. And I remember going out there every week. Every Monday I had a delivery in Boston. And I would pull in there, and I was basically their home truck. And so I would pull in, and there was this Werner guy next to me. And this guy out here, look, this guy I'm sure is a union dock worker. If you brought him $100, he told me this the first time I went there. Bring me $100 cash every week, and we'll unload you right away. Otherwise, you got to sit here. I'm like, oh, really? He goes, yeah, really. So you give him the $100. The company paid it. By the way, they fronted me $100, and that was it. So I would give him the $100, and they give me the $100 every week. And he took the guy off this Werner truck to unload me, and I felt kind of bad for the Werner guy. But they unloaded me like 5 minutes, didn't count anything. Just signed it. For the $100, he just signed it, and it was cash for him. And I don't know how many trucks he did that to every week or every day. If you could do that to maybe a truck a day, that's $500 cash a week extra beyond whatever you're making in Boston. Not bad for him, right? So that Werner guy had to just sit there. You'd be completely empty when you did this. It doesn't, not the point of the empty, but that you're driving after you got unloaded, that would be allowed. Just got word an oversized load ran under a bridge in San Angelo and destroyed part of the bridge. That's awesome. That's where I was stationed, by the way, in San Angelo, Texas, at Goodfellow Air Force Base. You will, when you call him back, you begged, I'll go anywhere you want. Do you have that bad of a family? Never thought you would beg to work at a company. Yeah, that family must be driving you crazy. You got to go rent a new family for a few minutes. That's pretty funny. Holy mackerel. They never said any more word to me about that U.S. Food Service guy either. They would just give me the 100 every week. I would give him the money, and they would unload you. I don't understand it. While Bill is here, thanks for coming in today. You run a little late. What do you think about this truck driver that fell asleep and is going to get $80 million for running into a bunch of traffic? I'm sure you heard about it. This truck driver got called in on his 34-hour break, told them, I don't have any hours. Company said, hey, you're coming in or are you getting fired? And he came in, which he shouldn't have done, fell asleep, had a big accident. He got injured. He gets $80 million from the company. Sued him. And because they didn't have workman's compensation insurance on him, he sued them and won. Otherwise, he wouldn't be allowed to do that. Hey, Jim Anderson, you like the program and listen when you get a chance. Thank you very much. I appreciate you listening and being here on Monday. We're live every Monday, by the way, at 1 p.m. for a small chit-chat to see what's going on. Oh, if you remember last week, we talked about that I-70 Colorado truck crash. All right, more information on that, where that guy's charged. His company had the minimum insurance, $750,000 of insurance, which is the minimum allowed by law. All right, so that's what they had. That's all it's going to pay out. It's almost not worth suing them. I mean, I feel bad for the people that died, of course, and their families, but there's no suit there because the $750 will just pay out. It'll be split. There isn't any more money. He's going to go bankrupt. There's not going to be anything for anybody else. It's a shame. It's a shame. Yeah, Steel Horse, exactly. What are we going to do with Bill here coming in at 3 o'clock? Hey, you just want to make some money? Kim, you're at 100 a day is not terrible for not working there. I mean, that you have a better deal than most places. Smith should get good props for that. Most places wouldn't pay people, especially when they're at home. Decent school in Indy. Yeah, what about C1 or whatever? They run ads. They will not make you sign a contract. You want to learn from a legit school and then go find work. C1 runs ads down there. They're in Indianapolis. Check them out. I don't even know I live here. I should know this. Indiana might pay for the truck school. Ask them, call the Workforce Development, which is what it is here in Indiana, and see if the Department of Workforce Development, see if Indiana will pay the truck school. Some states will pay truck school for you as a grant, so you never pay it back. So I live here and I don't know that, but Indiana might pay it through that department. You could go to truck school right there in Indianapolis. You'd owe nothing. That's the first way to do it. King Bob just got paid $89 out of $500. I don't know. I did see you wrote that earlier. What exactly do you mean about that? Charles King. There's 2 Kings in a row. You love the channel. Best in the industry. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. I do try to give out the best information that I can to company drivers. How do you go into town and park and take care of personal stuff? Left because you're considered the still be on alone until I got the hub, even though I was unloaded. You'd be allowed to go into town to take care of personal stuff DOT wise, but a company can limit or not allow personal conveyance if they want to. So that may be the problem at your place. That's certainly allowed. You can take the truck and go do personal stuff with it. No problem. That's what it's for. But your company can say, we don't really like that. So, I mean, it's a problem. What do you think about Hinos, right? I was at the dealer looking at them. That's a smaller truck, right? That's like one of those cab forward trucks or whatever. I don't know anything about those smaller trucks. 1.2 million demerits for Bill. Yikes. That's a new record here. I started driving with England. They gave you U.S. Foods load. You got there Monday when they told me it was due, and U.S. Foods at San Antonio. We always remember that, right? It's not due till Wednesday, and England made you sit. Exactly. See the difference there? There are people sitting at home getting paid. There are people sitting in England not getting paid. So the solution is to leave England, of course, which I'm sure that you've done, but that shouldn't be allowed, or it shouldn't be, it shouldn't be tolerated. Why does England think that's okay? Why don't they say, all right, drop it somewhere or take it to a yard and here's another load? That's what they should have done. Whatever their nearest load yard is, I don't know where it is. They have you drive it there and drop it and pick another load up and keep moving, letting you make money, and then somebody on Wednesday takes the thing back over there and gets it delivered. That's what should be done. Why these companies do that? I guess because people will sit without pay. And so when you're new, look, I'm not griping at you. You were new. You don't know any better, but they shouldn't be sitting you with no money. It's just crazy. The company's at fault. Companies are always putting pressure and using threats. Yes, and that's what the lawsuit said, that the company is not allowed to pressure you, coerce you, once they know you don't have any hours to drive. They're not allowed to ask you to run illegal. And so this driver was awarded money, including punitive damages. Unfortunately, he's never going to get it, but he will put that company out of business. Probably, though, they'll open up under his sister's name or something like that. Prime said they wanted to part ways with you. When your trainer flipped out on me, you have a recording of it. Nice. Almost done training, told you to get a hotel, and they'll reimburse you. And they didn't reimburse you. That's a surprise. Prime is one of the places that when they let you go, they literally let you go no matter where it is in the country. They just fire you, and you have to get your own way home, your own motel, whatever it is that you need. Tim, you like your job, though? Yeah, I like working too, but I will tell you, I don't beg them to come in extra, certainly. Hey, what's going on from Joliet, Illinois, home of the Blues Brothers? What's going on, Adam? June 7th, the rules change. No, maybe. Yes? Okay. The hours of service on June 7th may need a longer time. Why? Because the Office of Management and Budget has not completed their review yet. And they actually said last week they may extend the time past June 7th for the announcement. That's what they said. So maybe June 7th, maybe not June 7th. By the way, they don't change that way. That's only an announcement. And then there's a 49-day comment period. So the original in-service date would be July 26th, but that may be delayed. And the government said they actually anticipate there'll be lawsuits which could tie it up in court even longer because they'll get restraining orders and it won't be allowed to change from all these groups, SAD and all these other groups that don't want the laws to change. Gross paycheck was $500, and after taxes and insurance, you bring home $89. Well, number one, gross $500, kind of low. Taxes and insurance, out of $500, $89, you shouldn't pay any tax at $500. That's $25,000. And how much can insurance possibly be at your place where you only make $89? One guy crashes, gets $80 million. Another guy gets murder charges. If you crash, you may be a millionaire or go to prison. You're rolling the dice. You're taking a roll at it, and you could win or lose. What do I think about Tyson for trucking? I don't know that much about them. I know they feed people like family. I like private carriers certainly, usually better than general freight if you're hauling just a single kind of load. What do they pay? Have you looked into them? In California, your local EDD office for unemployment has a program called WIOA. They will pay up to $7,500 towards a school. That's really good. That should cover most schools. Then you can go to school free, not owe anybody any money. You can pick a good job. You don't have to worry when you get out of school that you're going to be, have a problem. Whatever happened at Stevens Contractor debunk? What are we talking about? The Stevens? We talking about JCT? They got sued a huge big time over their problems. DA, thank you for your service. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. What company do I work for? Oh, I know. Get that question that often on here. So that's a good thing that somebody asked that today before the end. I never say who I work for, okay? And why? That leaves them out of my videos. So I get to do videos how I want to do them and say what I want about companies without my company coming in and saying, oh, well, you're representing us because you say you work here. So I don't show the company and I don't talk about my own company or where I work. That keeps them out of my videos. And also, who out here is not recruiting? Every driver out here is recruiting for their company, not me. They have their own recruiters. Let them do it. I don't recruit for my company either. That keeps them out of everything. So that's why I don't talk about where I work, really. I mean, I'm on YouTube. They could get the whole thing, put a big kibosh on it. We don't want that, or I don't anyway. I will see more than 2 Sierra England trucks that sit all weekend. Why is that? Because England's a horrible place that makes people sit for nothing, and because they can. And so there's a bunch of new people. So if you see 2 trucks, that's 6 drivers or more sitting between those 2 trucks for probably no pay, waiting for a Monday delivery. It's ridiculous. Why they don't close is beyond me. You've since moved on from England Good to a company with only 70 trucks. I bet it's better. Home weekends and $12.50 guaranteed. That's much better than England, isn't it? Of course, any place would be, but now you're making $60,000 plus. Home on weekends, much better place. No sitting around in the weekend at some truck stop 1,000 miles from your house for no reason, without any money. That's crazy. NTB runs 90 hours in 8 days. How would they do that on an electronic log? 49 and then 51 after a year. That's not terrible. If that would be a place that would get you home and have the insurance that you want, I mean, and give you some miles, that 3,000 miles is $75,000. Hurricane is taking people to a hotel if they let people go now, at least. They did not tell the guy giving them a ride they don't pay for the room. Well, at least they get a ride, I guess. That's better than some places, but that's a lot of places. It isn't just Prime. I give them grief about it. A lot of places, when they let you go, they just let you go, and you're on your own. So I always encourage people to have a few $100s, not just for the company closing, but they can just fire you. Oh, driver gave me a copy of the Stevens contract release. Yeah, right. I looked it over and talked back with that driver. Exactly. No, thank you for my service. Well, either way, I'll take it. CR England hoses you every chance they get. You've been sitting in Colorado for 3 days without a load. Nobody will answer. Colorado is a dead zone for loads coming out. No one will answer your messages. Is crazy. Okay, the company should at least talk to you. What happens if you call them up? Do they answer their phone? Whenever I had a chance. Yeah, right. I did look at their lease. Exactly. Get your own questions. All right, I saw that, Wild Bill. Somebody got it. Somebody beat you to it. Yeah. Thanks for the Dot Foods review. Yeah, I love Dot Foods, right? And they have so many different programs. I like 7 on, 7 off, 4 on, 4 off, or weekends. I mean, there's so many different ways to work there, depending on your needs, and the pay really good there. Right, love the place. I'm anti-recruiting for your company. Stay away. That's too bad. I mean, it should be a company. I understand that people don't want to talk about it here, but in general, if you don't like your company enough to recruit for them, you really should move on. I mean, think about that. If it's not a company you'd recommend other people to, you shouldn't recommend yourself there. And if they won't answer your calls for 3 days or whatever, it's time to get the heck out of there. This 3 days should be spent you trying to find another job. The guy that was fired wasn't happy and gave the driver a hard time. Exactly. They haven't answered any phone calls. Yeah, just get out of there. I would send them a message. Look, this is me, right? And say, I'm okay, I guess, where do you want the truck? I'm out of here. I bet they answer that message. That kind of message they would answer. But you got to get out of there. 3 days with no money, no calls, nothing. That's no kind of place to work. How they stay in business is they just get new people in, and then you're stuck. You probably don't live in Denver. You don't live in Colorado, so you're stuck there. And so you almost can't leave. It's almost worth just leaving the thing there. That would just leave something on your record, though, so I certainly don't recommend that. But go get a different job. You cannot stay there without being paid anything. That kind of money, remember, $2.90 a week is minimum wage for 40 hours. Okay, so if you're getting less than that, I mean, you're getting less than just minimum wage. That's crazy. You would have gotten your question, except for your job. Look, you love that job. Roy says, contact you for Dot Foods info. I'm currently stuck in a parking spot. I don't know how they expect drivers to get trailers out of here. Yeah, hopefully you're not snowed in at this time of year. You've been looking for a company. Look, I would say you could almost go anywhere because of the money that you're making. You could literally randomly call a trucking company and probably get a raise. And I'm serious about that. Nobody can work for under $100 a week take home. That's no kind of money. You're going to Uber. Just go home and Uber until you find a trucking job. Seriously. Oh, Roy works there. Exactly. You don't like your company, but you like the home daily, hourly, and the shop is awesome. But your managers are horrible. I don't know why companies do that. But at least you're getting paid and the shop is good. And at least if you're not there, you don't have to see the managers where you're on the road. If England had you sitting for 3 days, you'd start driving the truck back to the terminal. But they call you in 5 minutes. Oh, that's interesting, too. If you start moving the truck, I bet they do call you. Yes, exactly. They'll make a phone call to you. Oh, and you say, where were you guys? Does England let you PC that truck? At least you could go see some of the sites or something. Geeks Trucking, your job is hiring. Are they? But you remember, you said you won't say what it is. So you can't, I guess they could contact you privately, I guess. And it's good to see here, by the way. Thanks for being on here. Happy but small to medium nags. Look, Roy, we agree that every place probably could do better. Everybody would make a perfect place for them, right? Look, I got nags at my place too, right? But I stay there, so not bad. I would recommend it. What does Tri-Team pay? They all split $1. 33 cents a piece. At least go to Youre. They started paying the first day. At least go to Youre. They started paying the first day. I wouldn't recommend, leasing at a Youre, certainly. Everyone is hiring. Yeah, Steel Horse. Who's not hiring? Very few places are not hiring. How about a page on Trucking Answers Nation that covers state by state of companies and their pluses and minuses? Holy mackerel. I mean, splitting it up like that, I got to say, look, I would like to do something like that. I would need more time. I do work a full-time job too. I'm a driver just like everybody else, and I work every day, full-time as a driver. I have a route that I run and do all this too. This is 20 to 30 hours at the moment a week, 6 days a week generally. So the time factor of splitting it up state by state would seem like it would take a lot of time. And I could have one of my staff do it, but pretty much that's just me. I just wouldn't have that kind of time to do it. Some days I get 36 emails as well that I answer as well. So, yeah, geeks. Okay, so people can email you. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so anybody wants information about, maybe even a lease place that maybe even recommended if we ever knew what it was. I think Geeks Trucking is probably one of the few that I found where you actually make some money leasing a truck. He's doing very good there, by the way. If you're into, heavy haul, that kind of thing. By the way, check his channel out, too. The stuff that he hauls, it's really kind of fascinating. Wow, Bill, did I watch the video? Yes, I did. I sent you a text back about it. You agree with him, but you couldn't do that here. Yes. Youre says they will pay you more. They just have to look up any records before they agree to hire me. Everybody would probably agree to hire you. They have to look up more records. I will say this. Look, if you're not being paid, there's no point in staying there. For no money, you're not making any money. You could sit at home and not make any money and watch, Jerry Springer during the day. Literally everyone is hiring. ZipRecruiter sends you 5 emails a day. There's so many places hiring. Just basically put a sign in your truck that says, who will hire me? Can someone pay by the hour for that with overtime? You should get hourly with overtime, certainly. There's Geeks Trucking email if you want to send him an email. Indeed sends you 2 to 3 emails a day. I don't ever get any emails from them. I feel bad. Email me and we could talk that way about your first employee. Exactly. The state by state that was earlier, I don't know if I would have time. I mean, I just don't know if I could split it up and have time to do it. Get the IT team on that trucking companies. Yes. Yeah, I'll get the IT team working on. They're currently at the poetry session over there working on that. So exactly. Your employee, the cat, that actually looks like her too, by the way. And so she, of course, is doing her regular job of sleeping on the bed at the moment. She hasn't even come out here, which I'm surprised about because it's been, 2 hours since she had anything to eat. Totally mackerel. Since Cash is King Trucking is there, what do you think about this? Reefer freight up 7.6%. He's an owner-operator. So we'll see about that. That's what ATBS says at the moment. Reefer freight is up from last year, 7.6%. I think you're experiencing that as well. As I've seen in your emails and your videos. And he has a good channel, too, for everybody to go check that out. For the owner-operator side of owning your own truck and leasing it onto a company, that's a different way to do it. That's probably one of the ways that is recommended, certainly. And this hours of service, June 7th, remember, the Office of Management and Budget says, wait a minute, it might not be June 7th. It might be past June 7th, and they don't give a date past then. It's crazy. June 7th is a Friday, and I was going to be out with it instantly because I was going to watch it, but I don't know. If they put something out, I'll be out with it right away. Maybe I'll go live that day, too. We can talk about it right when it happens, but, I'm not sure about it. Do I have sample driver contracts? No, I don't. Each company has a different kind of thing, so and they'll have their own thing, which you should be able to look at in advance. Geeks Trucking, your loads are $250 to $450. Exactly. I've seen that. Because you're doing an interesting niche in the business that not a lot of people do, your loads pay a lot better. I'm sitting home and not getting paid or working. It's really limited when you have been driving for 3 months. That's true. It's harder to get a job. But why are you home and not getting paid or working? And if that's too long, it's time to move on. Just get your ID department on the trucking pros and cons. Exactly. I'll have them get right on that. Already did over-the-phone application, got pre-approved. Just waiting for them to get back to me. If they accept, you're getting out of CRE. And that's sad that you have to leave. Now, if you haven't been there 9 months, I think it's 9 months, right? You have to pay the entire amount back. You do not get a proration on the amount if they put you to school. And that's sad. But if you're not making any money, you can't stay there just because of that. But they don't prorate in England. Steel Horse, yes, poetry coming up. Trying to get a feel for the driver contracts to do up your own for an employee. Oh, I'm sure there are tons of those out there that, to Google. And why would an employee need a driver contract anyway? I'm not a fan of them, so I'm just curious why you would want an employee to have a contract. You like your 13 so much, just bought a car with a 6-speed. Boy, what kind of car did you get with a manual still? I didn't check your phone. That's okay. You missed enough of the show. That's okay. I appreciate it, Bill, that I do good work and a fan. Thank you for being here today. I do appreciate it. Bill is trying to move on from that, certainly. Every time I talk to new drivers or refer them to the channel, oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Have them email me with any questions that they have. I'll be happy to answer anybody's email. Steel Horse says live at the hours of service. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's a Friday. If they're out early enough, I got to go to work in the afternoon, but if they're out early enough, I'll do a live. If they have like a 4 p.m. announcement or something, I'm not going to be able to do it. So we'll see if they come out in anything. I'm hoping for them to be out first thing in the morning and say something about it. So we'll see what they do. I'll have to get up early. Do they have a video of a company you recommend for new drivers? Yeah, I have a whole on Trucking Answers Nation. There's a whole page of videos of trucking companies that are doing it better. And there's also a page of trucking company contact information. So you can get all the phone numbers and stuff of just a bunch of companies if you want to give them a call. King Bob, you don't care if you have to pay it, you want out. I agree. And look, you're going to be money ahead even if you're paying it. So you got to pay it. If you're making $50 a week, 50. Look, I said 50 like I'm all hip. Right. You just got to get out of there. That's crazy. You can't stay for that. And when you quit, I would say, look, how am I supposed to stay for $50 a week? I drive a dump truck for $12 an hour. Your ear is broke. Yikes. Bubba Buzzo's Comedy, which I love that name of that channel. $12 an hour. Do you have an A license? I mean, I always tell this to people, and people are like, oh, that's ridiculous. But if your area where you live only supports $12 an hour, it may be time to move. And seriously. Oh, you can get a Forte with a 6-speed, but that's the base model, right? You can only get the 6-speed in the base Forte. Good warranty, though. Can you get a semi with a 9-speed? Oh, I haven't seen one of those in a while. Or 8-speed? That's 8. I don't think so. Or an 89. Oh, I don't think I've seen any of those. I want it to be changed with a 14-hour clock freezes whenever you're off duty. So you can extend your day. As long as it doesn't make you go past 14 hours. Tried turning your fuel card on when I was down a quarter tank left. They only authorized 47 gallons. And you need to stick to the route. Yeah, you know why they do that? So that you won't fuel out of route so you get a shower. So you know that even by fueling out of route, you're not going to get a shower. I mean, come on. David Griffin is late to the show. Have I talked about Amazon's plan? No, I haven't talked about it and wasn't thinking about it. What do we think about Amazon's plan that is going to take over trucking? I do mainly company focused stuff. I'm a company driver. I've read a little bit about it, but not a super lot. Used to drive, 25 to 30 in New York, exactly, and for dumps. That's way better. I mean, for 12, Target pays 13 here in Lafayette, Indiana. They just put a sign up that they're going to start everybody at $13 an hour. So you're literally better off working at Target. You run recaps anyway, so they're going to change the hours of service 2 to 10 out of 11. I think they're going to change the sleeper. They keep talking about it. I think you're going to be able to split however you want. So 8 and 2, 7 and 3. You're going to be able to take the 2 as long as one of them's 2 hours. I think that is going to happen. I thought 30 minutes was going to go away, but it looks like now they're not going to do away with the 30 minutes. It looks like, just from what they're saying, that you'll be able to take it whenever you want. So at any time during the 14 hours. Why not have a specialist call in to discuss whatever topic they specialize in, like owner arbors? Yeah, I don't really have the technology to have a specialist call in on, on that kind of thing. I wouldn't exactly know how to get somebody in on the show like that. Mac still has a 9-speed? Really? I haven't seen one in a long time. I would figure that Mac would do something like that. Who would work for a company that only let you get 47 gallons of fuel knowing you need to 15? Yeah, there are companies that are cheap like that. And you know what? They do that to make you follow the fuel route. They make you follow it. So if you fuel off route, they make sure it's under 50, and then you're less likely to call in for fuel. It's just garbage. That kind of stuff just costs them more money than it saves them. The base has 90% of the options of the regular model, but not the high-end models. Yeah, okay. So the base model is the only one with the 6-speed. That's what I thought. I'm kind of a high-end model guy, right? The wife's car is a titanium, so I don't know about getting a base model of it. She likes her seats heated and everything, and I got to enjoy that kind of stuff. But look, to get the manual, it's going to be one of the last manuals you're going to be able to get. I didn't go to my fuel stop because you would have wasted more time waiting in line. Exactly. You decided to go to a place less busy, but they don't care about your time. They care about saving 43 cents on the fuel up. That's all they care about. They don't care, obviously. They don't care about you. Reefer is up. Exactly. I'm cherry picking your loads. I saw that. You turned down like 30 loads were offered to you, and you were able to turn them down. Multiple brokers calling every day for the last couple of weeks. Exactly. Yet I get tons of owner-operators saying there's no money, freight is down, and then I watch you getting 30 calls in a day to pick loads up, and you can't do them because you don't have the hours or they're going all over the place. I mean, so I don't understand. Why is it some people are successful at that and, some people aren't? They're calling you. It's not like you're looking for all these loads. They're sending these to you. Trucker Hershey is parked, so Amazon will be putting brokers out of business. Yes. If you're a company and a broker says $2,500 to move your load, an Amazon brokerage will do for $1,900. What I've learned here from today is that people are saying they're only lowering the fee. They're not lowering the amount the load pays to get you to come and do their stuff. You're saying you take a 2-hour break and you can recap those 2 hours and then right then and there. No. What I'm saying on the split sleeper is you'll be able to do 8-2 or 7-3, 6-4, 5-5. You can't do that now. It has to be 8 and 2. That's it to do a split sleeper. So you won't be able to recoup those 2 hours right away. That would work good, but no, that doesn't. That's not how it works. It's only the weekend that give you 47. I guess so. You're not out scamming them for 50 gallons to get a shower. Don't you want a driver to have a shower? Authorize 51 gallons so people get a shower. I don't like fuel routes anyway. I don't think they should give you a fuel route. I think they should let you fuel wherever you want. It would save them money. You're not going to want to stop somewhere that's got a big line. You want to stop somewhere that's going to get you in and out of there so they can move more freight, and the company makes more money too. They don't seem to know it. Some folks don't want to work hard. Yeah, exactly. England says you can't refuse a load. That's most companies, let's be honest. Most company drivers are forced dispatch. I did once, and they immediately called and said, you can't do that. Sir, that's how you do it. Refuse a load. You can't do that. I'm sorry, King Bob, you can't do that. You had to accept it. Right. That's true. Company drivers are generally on forced dispatch. You have to take all the loads they give you unless you don't have the hours or whatever. I agree. Look, I agree with that. But you sitting around, this has to end. And it ends by leaving. It's unfortunate that you have to do that. Why does the company want to sit you? Their truck isn't making them any money either. It's sitting there. They're not making any money on it. That's what always surprises me. The company goes, they don't make any money on your truck, and then drivers are quitting. England's one of the ones complaining they can't get drivers. Did you go through their, did you have a 3-bunk truck, by the way? There's a driver shortage. If you have 1,000 trucks and 800 drivers, you have a shortage. There's no shortage of licensed drivers. They're twisting the terminology. Oh, that's interesting, the way to put it. They have a driver shortage of getting drivers, but there's no overall shortage of CDL licensed drivers. Oh, that's very good. That's right. Okay, some people don't want to work anymore. Yes. Both examples pay $1,900 a company, and they actually move the load. Right. And you don't even have the hours. They can't make you do a load you don't have the hours. As we find out from this guy that fell asleep, he got $80 million. You never move a load if you don't have the hours. It's too risky. And it's just not safe. You don't want to run people over. TMC runs 9 speeds, really, and converts them to 13s. Oh, and the truck goes for trade-in. Well, they don't let you have the 13 speed, but they convert it and then sell it to somebody else. What the heck? Ooh, what do I know about military loads from flatbed owner-operators? Not much, right? Where is Geeks Trucking to do some of that? To talk about that. Complaints always seem to be sticking it. Companies seem to stick it to the drivers, of course, right? Who else can they stick it to? That would be 5 and 5. I do not have the 3-bunk. Okay, so you didn't experience the beautiful 3-bunk trunk on Taco Tuesday? That's what I was wondering. We're forced dispatch, but you refused loads outside New York when you was a newbie and got away with it. Some companies don't enforce it like some do. England, they enforce it right away to get you to know that, hey, you can't do this. We are going to tell you where you're going to go, and for very little money. First, last name, ask, where do I work? Oh, I don't get that question very often, and so that's good. I don't ever say where I work. That keeps them out of my videos, okay? And so they don't have any say in my video because I don't ever mention them. So they might say, oh, look, you're representing us. You represent our company when you say us. I don't talk about where I work. Keeps them out of the videos. I don't recruit for them either. So I'm not getting that big fat recruiting bonus. Some of these drivers are out there getting, recruiting bonuses. I don't do that either. That way I can say whatever I want. The 5 and 5, you could drive 15 and 24. I don't like driving 15. I don't want the time to go up any more at all. Pay shortage for sure. There is certainly a shortage of pay. The companies don't like to talk about that. But when you see somebody sitting for 3 days without making any money, that isn't any good. What kind of trucking is that? People come into trucking to make a living, not to go sit 1,000 miles from their house in a truck. Amazon is going to use the lower fee to get everyone in the door, exactly, right? And then they'll lower the rate because they have no competition. They'll put everybody out of business and then you have to take it because they're the only ones with loads. It's not going to be great. I got to believe a lot of trucking companies are nervous about it. Did I ever drive for England? I did not ever drive for England. Geeks left after his plug. Oh, he's in here to plug and then took off. Well, I'll email him. Why do I see more Volvos down south? I don't know. Maybe they don't rust out down there. Aren't they made out of Swedish steel? I'm not sure why the reason that you'd see more in the south than anywhere else. Certainly, that would surprise me. That's Swedish steel, and they're made out of chocolate and whatever they make Rolexes out of. That's what they make those trucks out of. Automated trucks are the issue with safety. There was never the accident rates when we had the pre-2004. I don't like any of the automation in the trucks. Look, these trucks that they're driving automated that people are worried about, they drive them through the south where it's sunny and there's no problems. Take that truck across North Dakota in the middle of winter. I mean, no, they are decades from getting that thing to figure that out. It is a long time. The automation in the trucks is nothing yet to worry about like anybody's job. As many of you know, I have that radar. Many of you have the Ford radar in the trucks. It rains too hard and the thing goes out. So no way is that thing going to take anybody's job for a while. Your dad told you England was a good company. They were. Years ago, there was high miles, right? And it was always listed as a good company. People loved it there. And then they got into this training, and it's just been a disaster. You're waiting for Amazon to make a historical purchase like buying Walmart. Oh, my gosh, that would really be something. You think that that's going to happen within a couple of years? They're going to buy a large retailer like Walmart? I think they're going to just open their own stores and put them out of business. A lot of companies were good at one time. Yeah, usually when the original owner starts it, they're a great place, like Walmart, ironically. And then that person dies. The kids come in and the place goes down the toilet. Do I currently drive for England? That question shall be, I can't reveal where I drive, including England. England. Rumors Amazon is going to buy FedEx. Oh, that would be interesting. I wonder what those drivers will think about that. Where's that rumor out? I haven't read anything like that. I always thought Amazon is the kind of place that doesn't really buy anything. They'll just build their own thing and put everybody else out of business. Kind of like they're doing with their grocery stores. If you've seen that, you can go into an Amazon grocery store, pick up your product, and leave out the door. There's no cashiers. It knows what it weighs, and it charges your card when you leave the door. Really something. They have tons of videos about people have tried it, and it works good. I meant they have to have the skills to drive a semi. Anybody can put the selector on D. Well, look, I drive an automatic, and it's no problem. You should learn how to drive a manual, but there's less and less of them. Sometimes there's not any way to do it anymore. FedEx is not for sale. Yeah, I didn't know they were selling out. If anything, Amazon would just get in and put everybody else out of business with their own stuff. Whole Foods, right. That isn't the grocery store that I'm talking about. There's a couple of Amazon stores that have no cashiers that they built specifically because each shelf has a scale in it. When you're standing in front of it, it knows where you are, and so you pick up an item, a sandwich or whatever, and it knows what it weighs, and it says, all right, this person picked up a sandwich. And if you leave, then it charges you $3.29 or whatever that sandwich is. There's no cashier. You just walk out the door. Really, really something. Did I get an email about Falcon having to shut down all of them? Shut down all of what? I'll let Amazon buy it if it means you get away from England. At least it'd be better than that. I used to work at Walmart. Look, it might actually be a better job than sitting without being paid anything. Amazon has been buying small businesses for a few years to go in on the kill. If they bought Walmart, I mean, well, how much would that cost them? I'm focused. Can't trip me up. I don't know about that. We'll never work there again. I wouldn't work there now, certainly. I don't even shop in there. Whole Foods is owned by DOT, also not by DOT, really? Okay, so no problem. Also not for sale. But a place like Walmart that's public, they just buy the stock up, I guess. The 3 people who did the Sierra England song also drove for England. Yes, right. For 6 months at a time, they did an interview with the president of the company. They looked happy. Of course they looked happy. They're not going to pick out people on their video, which they hate. And Sierra England, I have a page on truckinganswersnation.com just for Sierra England, and the video is linked up there. You can go watch it. It's really something. Them Wheels Be Rolling, I think, is actually the name of the video. It's a YouTube video. Just classic. I just love it so much. I posted it up there so people could see it. These wheels be rolling. But yeah, they're going to pick out the 3 biggest brown nosers of the whole place. Oh, your email was about Falcon planning to shut down all along. Right. Whole Foods is owned. I did just before the show, I answered all emails that I had gotten today, so you may have gotten an answer at that point. Whole Foods is owned by Amazon. Right, but they have a special store that just has the scales in it, in the shelves, and no cashiers. No cashiers. You just walk out with your product. Interesting idea. Not if you're a cashier, I guess. That it doesn't help you if you're a cashier, certainly. Well, as I always say at this time, it's about 3:30, so time to go make the company some money. I have to go off to work because I do drive a semi just like everybody else. So that is what I'm going to head off to do here now. I do want to thank everybody for being here, though. And must be rolling. Yeah, spinners, exactly. Thank you, everybody, for being here, as always, every Monday. It is always really something to see everybody here on what we've started here. We're trying to change the industry, get everybody paid for all their time. That people are not paid like this driver for England is just ridiculous. Those kind of places should be shut down, and that's what we're going to continue to do, of course. More, why did Sierra England disable their comments? Oh, I can only imagine why England would disable comments on their own video. Oh, my gosh. Those comments would be horrible. Amazon bought Whole Foods for $13.7 billion. There's a store in New York City, right? So that's exactly right. They're opening just a few of them to see how it works, right? I love it. Thank you, Big Huge Mike, and I appreciate you being here and everybody that's here every week, and all the new people, Steel Horse, everybody. I can't do the show, Mad Maldy, all Big Huge Mike, all the moderators. I can't do the show without you, so I really do appreciate it. And we're going to go make the company some money. Be safe out there, okay? And don't run over your hours and get into trouble like these people. It's not worth the $80 million. So thanks for being here. We'll see you in a week on Monday. And check out some more videos this week. We'll see you soon.